For those who are on my stream, Vivi came in during a raid and noticed that I forget what I was talking about, but you had said, like, do you usually talk about this? I think it was either trans issues or was like about sex positivity, one of the two.
You were talking about the reinforcing of using your preferred pronouns. You were saying like you had the right to tell other people what you want your pronoun to be, but if they don't follow it, you also have the right to hurt them.
I didn't quite say
Something
that.
like that. Something like that. You were like, beat them up! You don't know the consequences!
That's right. When you're
Obviously,
affirming your
much more
gender, do
peaceful.
it with a shotgun.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Jesus Christ.
No, obviously not that violent, but it was a nice point. You were saying like, you can't force other people, but like, you can be upset that they're upset.
Yeah, you can't force somebody to force somebody to use a pronoun, but you have the ability to be like, okay, well, fine. If you won't respect me, I don't have to be around you. I can walk away.
Yeah, exactly. You can choose like who you interact with. Don't forget, you have your own power in doing certain things as well in response. That's very sweet of you to say, Fenneca. Good energy.
Also, Yara, thank you for redeeming your points.
Thank you for gifting the 2 subbies. Thank you for 2 subbers, King Neve. Thank you. Oh, I gotta stretch. Would you like to stretch with me?
Sure, why not?
Morning stretches are really good. Okay.
Ah.
Oh, that feels nice. That's so good.
There's so much thought goes into pronouns. Just trust your instincts. Yes, as long as your instincts aren't literally use the shotgun.
Sorry, my model for some reason is doing a slideshow thing right now.
Calm
down,
I've
model.
noticed. It's doing its best.
Yeah. Cause like it'll like do it sometimes, and it'll chill out. And it'll do it sometimes, and it'll chill out. Yeah. One of my viewers has redeemed a wee wee channel baguette. So that is what I am. Hello. Would you like some dragon wine?
Nope.
Would it help relax your butthole?
Nope.
Well, your bell's too tight. You can't loosen it with alcohol.
Yara, thank you for redeeming your points with a hara.
Now we know.
Fucking jerk.
Sometimes my thing just freaks out like this. Sometimes I don't know why.
Sometimes it just gets slow.
Has this ever happened to you? I use the VTube Studio with OBS.
For
whatever reason, it freaks out.
I use VTube Studio with OBS as well. When this happens, it typically means that my processor is trying to kill itself.
I know, right? But then it like smooths over, like in the same session. I was like, maybe I'll restart every single time. I noticed that didn't help. Hello, Cootie Show. Do you have the pronoun extension on Twitch? Wait, there's a pronoun extension? Wait, do you know about this? Is there a pronoun extension?
I did not realize there was one. I just tell people
I didn't even know that's a thing.
I just tell people to use my pronoun command. They just hit exclamation mark pronoun in my stream and it just does it.
I have my pronouns as my tags. At least I think that's what they are. The little circly, ovally things at the bottom next to the title. I think mine says she, her. What are your preferred pronouns?
He, him. Though I'm also gender apathetic, so I just don't care.
I just don't care about my gender.
I just don't.
I mean, a lot of people kind of like force you to, though, in a way, right?
I mean, some
people. Sure, the way that they interpret you.
Some people try.
Probably put you in some role.
Some people try. They're just like, Cirrus is a femboy. I'm like, I mean, if you want to use that word, I don't fucking care.
If you want to use that word, I'm a pro, baby.
Just doesn't. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
Like for some people, it's an important part of their identity. For me,
of course.
It's not.
Dr. Turgut Ducking says, gender apathetic might be the best thing I've heard in a while. Yeah, I didn't know it was like a official term. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people nowadays feel that way. Like, I don't care, just call me something. Hello.
What I've found is usually in conversation when somebody is talking with you, pronouns never even come up in the conversation. Like, as in, if I'm talking with you, I'll usually say like Vivi. It's only when you're talking about somebody that their pronouns generally come up, or you're thinking about them.
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's true.
It just ends up being a non-thing for me, though.
Because in person, it's always gonna be you, right? Or like, you know,
and
use the name.
In person, you usually just refer to people by their name, unless you're in the South and for some reason you're conditioned to say ma'am or sir, which I think is dumb. But
are you from the South?
I live in Georgia.
Oh, so you definitely hear that a lot then, huh?
Yeah. I am in the most unfortunate location of Georgia.
Why? What are the bad locations of Georgia?
Any place where your representative is Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh my god!
And that's
F's in chat, everyone. F's in chat.
And she's my rep, so not great.
What a lovely, lovely time. What a great time to be alive. I saw that you are way more into current news than I am. I'm really bad at this. But I did notice something recently where you were talking about Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
So, like, let's see. Does everybody in chat know about what this is? The Roe v. Wade shit? Does everybody know what that is?
I can do
No,
it.
it's not row your boat. No, it's not about rowing your boat. It's about Roe v. Wade was a court case a long time ago, a constitutional court case, where it basically gave women the right to... Women is a bad word. People with vaginas the right...
Yeah, people with wombs.
Well, there's also some people with vaginas that don't think of themselves as women.
Well, yeah, that's why I was saying, like, it's the womb is like the part that matters most here, not necessarily the gender.
Womb.
Because you can have a vagina without a womb.
Ooh, that's true. All the little puzzle pieces come together. So if you have a womb, a uterus, this game guarantees that you can get an abortion at some point. Obviously, different states have taken it to different places. They're like, oh, you didn't know your prayers? That doesn't matter. You passed the time that you could abort it.
Yeah, that's a thing.
The fuck did I come into? Hello, Scruggs.
That's a thing that's confusing about it, because there's a lot of people that are like, aha, you should know you're pregnant this early, and like that's possible for some people. It's not possible for a lot of people. If you're
who has the money to go and get pregnancy tests all the time?
Like, you can get pretty cheap pregnancy tests for like just a couple bucks, but that's the big issue is that you don't know you need one half the time. Like, for instance, let's say somebody is a little larger, not somebody, I'm not even saying somebody who's obese, but just a little larger. It can be hard for them to tell that there's even any physiological changes in their body for a certain amount of time, which means that by the time they go, oh, I should get myself a test, it could be 20 weeks in at that point. And there have been cases where it's been 20 to 30 weeks into a pregnancy before somebody realized they were even pregnant in the first place.
It's so true. It's very hard to tell.
Like,
depending on the person. For some people, it might be obvious. For other people, it's gonna be very, very, very not obvious. I've even known people that don't really show until like the last bit, like at all. They're like, oh,
yeah. Trash Cat
I
Lionel.
have a baby.
Trash Cat Lionel in my chat also notes that the Roe v. Wade decision wasn't just about abortion; it was about a person's right to privacy. So there's actually other stuff that is linked to that as well, not just things about abortion, but pretty much if anything that can be linked back to like a HIPAA, for instance, is also based on Amendment 14 or your right to privacy. If Roe v. Wade goes out, there's a chance of those going out as well. I know that like Justice Alito has said that this is not a decision that will affect any other thing in the courts, but that's the thing. That's a lie. whenever a decision is made in the courts that has sweeping ramifications over 30 years of legislation, there is always a domino effect. You can believe wholeheartedly that there won't be a domino effect, but that's believing
But
that...
now the possibility is there!
Yeah, that's believing that, like, all decisions exist in a vacuum, and they don't.
That is very, very true. So that's one of the reasons why people are so up in there with this decision. It could affect a lot of different things from here on out. Hi, Hyper. Hi, Mortimer. Hi, Garug.
Well, there's also a...
This sounds so much like a podcast. Yeah, I feel Sudis does a lot of that kind of talking on their stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, before I get too much into it. So this is Nico Sudis. Look at the little cat person. I know.
Oh, hello.
If you guys haven't yet, go over there and give them a follow. They do a lot of like in-depth talks like this, and also very serious talks about video games.
Not untrue.
Very, very serious. Like debating, I don't know, is this character with that character with this release, blah, 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 blah.
I actually just put a video on my secondary channel about the Archie Comics era of the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. Just going into the first bit of that and being like, well, according to this comic, canonically, Sonic can beat Superman in a fight. I don't know why they wrote that, but they did it.
I find it so interesting. You speak with the same dedication and passion as abortion issues. It's great. Yeah, exactly. The Archie comics are great. Yes, Salty Sonic. So yeah, if you are a fan of like talking the nitty gritty, really nerding out on like video game stuff, Neko Sudis is also the person to go to. And you know, for your daily kind of dose of just like a little bit of topical news, if you're like me and like never look at anything, looking at Neko Sudis every once in a while goes like, oh yes, I am learned. I am learned in my ways. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me that this is an issue, because I would not have known. I just noticed you have a Catboy milk in your corner.
So the story behind that...
Did it come from you? Is that what that is?
So the story behind that is, one, we have no idea where it comes from. We just know it's ethically sourced.
You have no idea where it comes from?
But also... So one of my fan artists, Yarakoro, who I started as a fan artist, and then I started hiring them as an official channel artist to do a lot of assets for my channel.
Of course.
I ordered a set of PNG food items so that it would be easier for people to tell when I was eating on stream. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just have like, can we have some sushi? Can we have some pizza, a burger, stuff like that? And then when they sent me the file with all the food items, they said, by the way, enjoy the Catboy milk.
Just like that.
And I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And then I looked at the file, and they had put a carton of Catboy milk in the file with all of my other food items that are supposed to be there.
That's it.
So that was
Your artist drew it into canon.
And then I was like, you know what? Literally, the reason I became a VTuber, the reason that like I even use a female model, like any of that stuff, all happened because
of milk?
No, fan artists. Fan artists.
You were so obsessed with milk. You're like, I need boobies. I need them so I can have my own milk. No, I'm just kidding. Like
fan artists would draw certain stuff, and then I would be like, okay, that's canon to the channel now. That's canon to the channel now.
That's canon now. It's been established.
So when Yara sent that, I'm just like, well, I might as well go ahead and integrate it into the channel. Why not? Like literally the reason that I even like started using the female avatar in the first place is people kept on gender bending my character on in fan art for 4 years. And finally, I just went, okay, obviously, like, this is what you want.
Wait, so if I just understand this correctly, so you're saying that originally, anatomically, your model looked different than this, but because a lot of fan artists gender bent your character all the time, you decided, I like this enough that I would totally change my model.
So it's a little more than that. I used to not have a model. What I had was a single PNG that I used for okay. But not in the PNG tuber sense where I use it for streaming, because I didn't. I used my face cam for streaming. So I would use face cam for streaming, then I would use the PNG for edited videos, basically like Rant Sona videos, where I would have it as the representation of me through the video, which ended up working out because I got to record my audio as one thing, then just attach it to the character. But then I was like, you know what? I'm getting tired of using the PNG character. I'm gonna go forward and actually utilize my face for edited content too. And people started sending in messages like, I miss the avatar. I miss when you use an avatar.
I like having a face to talk to.
And I basically made the joke that I was like, I mean, if I'm that ugly, you'd prefer me to hide behind a cartoon again. I can make that happen. But realistically, I went, okay, so you guys want the avatar videos back, but I'm not going to stop doing these videos in live stream form, because if I do that, it's going to mean that I have to go back to all the problems I had with edited content before. So it's like, well, how can I have an avatar and also do live stream content? And my friend Walker's just like, okay, you know what a VTuber is, right? It's like, oh, yeah, that is an option that I have. So a year ago, I commissioned Remixon, who's a wonderful artist, to go ahead and make the first VTuber model. And I sent in fan art of my character that people listed, like the gender bent fan art, as the reference images to make the model. So this is entirely like built on the work of fans sending in shit. Their fan art literally became the reference material to make the model as it exists.
That is so nice. I love that it's been influenced a lot by like a lot of the growing culture around your viewers, your channel, like how you're evolving. That's like one of the really great things about stream, I think. It's just you know, you grow over time with the people that you talk to, the audience grows, you grow, and like things change over time like this together.
Oh yeah.
It's very sweet.
So
anyway, would you like some milk?
Would
you like some dragon milk?
I'm lactose intolerant. I don't know if I can.
What if I told you there was no lactose in this dragon milk?
Then I would be scared for other reasons.
It's okay. It came from this really regular carton.
Okay, so it came from the carton, but I'm trying to figure out how it got in the carton first.
You know, like companies or something. I don't know, cow.
Companies or something. Cow dragons.
Yeah, cow dragon.
Just a cow dragon
Clearly.
with like fiery udders.
Yeah, you know, it's a little spicy, but you know, I think you can take it.
Jesus.
I've heard bear milk doesn't have lactose. Does it really not? Why do we have lactose in it? We do nothing with it. We do nothing with the lactose.
Anyway. Mainly because cows are the easiest animal as of right now.
Wait, you have a real answer.
Yes,
I love you.
I do.
I love how I'm like asking like random shit. And you're like, I know the answer. This is what I love about Nekosuris.
So
Okay.
we in the States, we have a lot of land. So cattle farming is already just kind of an established thing that we do easily.
No, yeah, of course, yeah.
It makes as a byproduct of all of that cattle farming, we have a lot of access to any products that are produced from cows, to the point where we can the only reason that we can digest lactose at all as human beings is because we kept breeding cows and drinking their milk. Eventually our bodies adapted, and because normally we can't.
Doing it.
Like the natural state
Yeah,
for
I heard
humans
that
is
normally
that
we
we are
can't either.
lactose
Oh my god, is
intolerant.
that Monica City Roll? Sorry.
Yeah, it's Monica.
Wow. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, but yeah, that totally makes sense. So like evolutionarily, I think for some reason like babies can do it, and then over time, like humans generally lose the ability to like digest lactose.
Yes.
But then we started
we kept
drinking it all the time.
Yeah.
We're like, we're big babies. I want more milkies.
And then what happens is people eventually mutate the gene to digest lactose late into adulthood, and then they pass that gene on when they
fornicate with other people. Yes.
When they fuck.
When they F-U-C-K.
But that passes the gene on for more people to have that. It's like I think it's like what 25 or 30% of the human population can digest lactose. More people are lactose intolerant than not, but the longer we drink milk as a species, the more there's just going to be.
Right, and the more we make lactose intolerant people feel like they're weird.
I mean,
we almost got rid of them. We're so close. Our master plan is happening.
Oh, Jesus. So watch out for when we hit the rock eating gene. Oh, God, we're going to become Gorons.
Oh, man. So for people that don't know you, I think for a lot of people in my chat, I've never rated you. I just kind of came across your thing. I haven't really talked to my chat about you. But I was excited. I wanted them to be able to get to know you like on this stream. So is there anything you can say about what you usually do? What you like, where'd you like start in streaming, that kind of stuff?
So I've been trying to be a full-time YouTuber for like the better part of 10 years. But I've for the last 3 years, that has been my job full-time. I finally broke to the point where I was able to do it full-time as my job.
That's awesome.
For the longest time, I was trying to make like gaming channels because, I mean, I play a lot of video games. I'm passionate about video games. I wanted to talk about them. But I found that my problem, and this, I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but I found that I have a tendency to hyperfixate on things where I'll go, oh my God, I'm going to start a channel. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then 3 months later, I abandon it because the thing that was motivating me wasn't actually my passion. It was my brain going, hey, you might be neurodivergent, but you don't know.
You might be, there's something different here.
Something might be wrong
This is not
here.
normal response. I'm not supposed to spend 10 hours on something and not feel tired.
something I actually spent 16 hours on Fortnite due to hyperfixation without feeling that 16 hours had passed.
Right, you don't feel it. No, I totally
you don't
get
feel
that.
it. It just
you
happens.
don't feel it until like you're like, oh shit.
So
my stomach is so hurting right now. I haven't eaten for like 24 hours.
After multiple instances of stopping and starting, and realizing that it was just my passion was completely linked to what my brain was focusing on, it was impossible for me to actually like commit full time to a channel until I started getting into content creation around atheism, philosophy, talking about religion.
Ooh.
Because what I found was that even if my passion for talking about philosophy dies out, there's too many things that are attached to it, like human rights, for instance, that I can't stop thinking about, I can't stop trying to argue for. So even when I stopped doing like most of the atheist content, I found that I can still talk about political content because that's something that like there's always something happening. There's always some old douchebag in Washington who's trying to strip human rights away from some part of the population. And there's always there's always some idiot on the internet who is so willing to give the benefit of the doubt to that politician that they'll make an entire video talking about why it's actually okay to force people into a 80-hour work week with no overtime. So I got to the point where I was like, okay, well, this is something that I'm never going to stop talking about because it's something I'm not going to stop caring about. So then I kept doing it. What I did was I took the PNG avatar that I had for my Hearthstone channel that was based off of Thrall from World of Warcraft, and I repurposed that for this channel 5 years ago on YouTube. Then over time, when that started to look more and more like I could do that full time, I started doing extra stuff with it. Like, okay, I can animate the mouth
Extra?
now. I can make it to where the character blinks now.
I see.
All stuff that's handled automatically, you know, if you're a VTuber, but stuff that wasn't handled automatically when I was doing it all manually. And
then you realize, wait, there's an easier way.
There has to be a better way.
There has to be a better way.
I've been trying to open this milk carton for 36 hours.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
But what I eventually found was that the more I honed what I was doing, the more I was improving with what I was doing, I was finding other avenues to expand what I was doing with my content. And eventually I got to the point where I said, okay, I want to do live stream content. It's easier for me to do. I can cover more things, and I'm not losing a whole lot by talking about things live versus talking about them in edited form. I'm doing the same thing either way. So I was live streaming on YouTube, and then my partner was like, you know, it's going to be safer if you live stream on Twitch. If YouTube strikes your channel because you're talking about politics and sometimes about people, you know, who are rioting or going to protest or, you know, sometimes violence, it's maybe a good idea for you to talk about that stuff on a different platform so that if you get hit on one, you don't lose both.
Interesting. So does this mean that you're going to expand to like a bajillion channels now? They can't get me! So
not necessarily. It's more that I stream on Twitch. The VODs from that go up on YouTube as like 20 to 30 minute segments based on what I was talking about at the time. And then I've got secondary channels as well that I cover different subject matter on. If I'm talking about video games, that goes on to my Neko Cirrus channel. If I'm talking about politics, that goes on to my main Cirrus channel. If I'm talking with Wayne, Nick, and Channel Pup, then it's a third channel, and that's Sunset City, where we just talk about Sonic the Hedgehog every Friday.
You had to hit the trifecta. That's clearly the trifecta. Those three. How do you go through life without them?
But it basically means that I can keep doing my stuff full time, and if because like I actually had an instance where like Twitch suspended me for a week because I showed a picture of a wound from a rubber bullet.
I see. Someone reported it for like gore or something.
I think it was actually the bots. Because
really? The bots found it? They're like, this hole is suspicious.
It was within like 2 minutes. I showed the picture on screen.
Oh, wow, that was fast. Okay.
Yeah, I showed the picture on screen. Because what happened is I had
and then immediately happened.
Yeah, it immediately got yanked off of Twitch.
I didn't know it could do that. Bots could do that? Or they just like automatically screen your live streams?
So it's a good idea to be.
I always thought that they don't look at it until after it got turned into a video after.
No, they'll grab.
Wait, where is it? Is this on YouTube?
When I got yanked off, it was on Twitch.
It was on Twitch.
Yeah, it was on Twitch like 2 minutes after I showed it.
Twitch can live moderate?
Yeah, Twitch can live moderate.
I'm scared. My DMCA dreams. I always thought that I can just do DMCA stuff as long as I don't have the VOD ready. No,
you're not safe. If you break
I know, obviously you're not supposed to, but like I know a lot of people that do it that way. Ginapu, thank you so much for 100 biddies. Haba, thank you for 100. Thank you!
Foam Swordsman, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an
person over here.
You fucking monster.
No, I know.
Rosalind Faye, thank you for resubscribing. Said suspicious gore, suspicious, found the wound to be an inconvenient truth. Yeah, and like I know that the person who the reason that I even showed the picture is somebody was like somebody in my chat was like, you know, I don't see how a rubber bullet wound is a problem. Like that's not really like people don't really get hurt by those things. And I was like, aha, let me prove you wrong. Shows images of rubber bullet wounds.
Here it is. Look at what it looks like when you get hit by a weapon.
And granted, I know that the person who suggested that, like, they were really apologetic afterwards. They were just like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were going to get knocked off of Twitch if you showed that picture."
No. It does not sound like a situation that is induced on purpose. It's not someone going, "Hey, why don't you look up Goatsy?" I'm pretty sure it was a genuine question about a genuine topic.
Yeah, it's not somebody.
No, I don't think the goal was to drop you off.
It's not somebody like dropping a link to Meat Spin or something.
Yes, exactly. It is unfortunate though. I'm glad that you got everything back though.
Yeah.
How did you just like tell them like, yo, this is I won't do it again or something?
It was a timed thing, so I submitted an appeal.
Oh, it wasn't a timed thing.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was you're off for 7 days. I submitted an appeal about it, and they were just like, "Nah, you showed the thing on screen. It broke TOS. Your appeal's not gonna work." But I was able to get back on after a week because it was a timed thing anyway.
How much does that hurt you per se, like in terms of like, you know, trying to live and survive on an income entirely based off of like videos and streaming?
So on Twitch, and granted, because of Twitch partner agreements, I'm not allowed to talk about straight
No,
raw
of
numbers.
course. Yeah.
Which is stupid. I prefer being transparent about my numbers. I'm transparent about my YouTube numbers because it doesn't break TOS. But imagine showing a picture immediately deducted $400 to $500 out of your bank account, and you're just like, oh, that was bill money. That's what kind of impact something like that ends up having. It takes a big chunk out, and it hurts you in the algorithm too, because if you don't stream for a week, it's harder to get featured on front page, so it's harder for people to discover you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm lucky in that I have a proportionate to my Twitch channel. I have a relatively large YouTube channel. In comparison, it's still a small YouTube channel. It's only like 40,000 people, but compared to my Twitch follower count, it's bigger. So I have that as
right.
I have
so
that
you
as
have
a feather
that as
fall.
your
Yeah, so if
right. So you have your alternate income coming in regularly anyway. So with those video views and those ad views on YouTube,
and then I've also got Patreon.
It didn't hurt you
well.
as much. Oh yes, of course.
So like it's between having Patreon and 2 YouTube channels that are monetized, Sunset City, of which I take 25% of because everybody at Sunset City, all 4 of us, have equal ownership of the channel. And then my main channel, which I have 100% ownership of, and then Twitch. If any one leg of that table goes, the table at least is still standing long enough for me to work up a backup plan.
That's true. Yes. That is one of the things I've noticed about like for content creators. You want to have many alternate forms of income. I've seen it from a lot of different people. The sponsorships, you got your Patreon, you got your PayPal donos, you got your YouTube stuff. And I think now for the really big people, Twitter is even starting to be monetized, which is interesting.
Which is dumb. I'm sorry.
You don't like Twitter being monetized?
When I see somebody comment on something and I see a super follow, I just want to post that meme of like Lord Farquaad pointing, ha, super follower.
I mean, I think it's always good to have like some alternate forms. It's nice that it's a possibility. No Raid Shadow Legends, they're so bad, their sponsorship will drive people off.
So I've actually
They've been feeding streamers forever.
I actually had to have like a week-long conversation with my chat where we deliberated over whether or not I would be taking a raid sponsorship. We eventually settled on like I'm gonna be taking it because bills exist and they're not going to stop existing.
It's like it's good money, but. No, I totally get that. For the Stream Elements ones, I also didn't do a lot of them. Because I was like, nah. I would never do anything like this. I try to at least have a reason for doing a thing, but, you know, money's money.
Yeah, for me it comes down to, like, there's... for one, I have just an unfortunate streak of unluckiness when it comes to needs for house repairs and needs for car repairs. I don't know what it is, but just like recently we had to redo our kitchen floor because it had water damage again.
Oh no! Oh my god, that's so costly.
And then like my car is in the shop right now because it needs the master cylinder replaced. Like it doesn't matter what how much I do to get ahead. For some reason life just goes, hey, that your tooth doesn't look loose right now. If I kick it enough, maybe I can change that. So
it's just
for me it's like if I'm not constantly trying to do something to make sure that I've got some type of funds under my belt, I just get behind, and it sucks because in a perfect world, I should be able to afford all of my bills and everything with no issue off of my streaming income, because it's enough to cover that, but it's not enough to cover that and also random ass crises
and all the random things. Yeah, it's true. This is why it's so important. Everybody like try to have emergency fund, that kind of thing. But so few people can actually afford to set aside money for an emergency fund. Just crazy. I was reading up on this. I think it was something like a lot of people don't have enough to like save anything past like their own living expenses.
True. Actually, I calculated what a comfortable living wage would be in Georgia, and the numbers ended up being like to have enough of a wage where you can afford healthcare for yourself and also put money aside to protect yourself in case of emergencies. You need like $22 an hour working full time, which most places here do not offer.
No, of course.
So it's like you haven't. Somebody will go like, "Oh my God, you could just spend a little bit of money at the grocery store to survive," and it's like, "Well, yeah, but now you're surviving off of ramen, or you're surviving off of like."
Yeah, I can survive, quote unquote.
But it's
Jesus
not enough
Christ,
to be
the
healthy.
quality of life. Right? Yeah, exactly.
And then it creates a feedback loop where like you're having to eat more unhealthy things because that's what you can survive off of, and now suddenly you need to go to the doctor more because you're dealing with more health issues, but you can't afford to go to the doctor more, so it just gets worse. And now that you're sick more often, you end up working less because you have to take more time off to recover. And the feedback loop continues. It's a vicious cycle. The death loop.
I know. It's really fucking terrible.
But
so serious.
Yeah.
Let's go to some happier topics. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to really actually ask you on, because I feel like you would probably have more of an idea of this than I would. And also, it's just good to just talk about the different kind of things that people use. Okay, what I'm talking about is sex tools.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people know like there's like a dildo.
they know the ones.
They know of the dildo.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if most people know about all the other nitty gritty things out there that's actually available that you can get from a sex store. Or online that don't usually think about. I was wondering if you can, it doesn't have to be from your own life, but from people that you know, of different tools that they use.
So there's one that sticks out in my mind only because of a very uncomfortable experience that I had.
Oh no, that's not what I was talking about.
But
well, I'm not talking about the ones that hurt you. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
But it's gonna be. It might also be funny. Are you familiar with electric wands?
Oh yes, electric wands. Yes.
Okay, so
for those of you, wait. Does everybody know what they are though? I'm not sure if like everybody else does. Can you explain what an electric wand is? What does it do?
So just in briefest terms, I want you to imagine a stick that shocks you so you can come.
That was so succinct. Wait, somebody clip that shit. That was amazing. All right.
But it's also not
the electric
inaccurate.
wand shocks you into orgasm. It shocks you into orgasm. Okay.
So,
yes. Rosalind says I hate those.
My awkward and bad experience with this. It's the way that I found out that I was demisexual was by being at a swingers party and being attracted to nobody.
You're like,
I was just like, I don't.
There's so many great people here, but no.
And just like, why don't I want to do anything with anybody here? And then my partner afterwards was like, you might be demi, you don't know anybody, so you're not attracted to anybody. And I'm just like, oh fuck, that makes sense.
Wait. So let me ask just a little bit on this. Okay, so before this, you haven't really realized, is it because like you've always known the person before, like you've gotten into some situations?
Yeah, by circumstance, I developed crushes on people by getting to know them. So it was just like, yeah, that's just...
Which is true, like a lot of people do that. You don't know until you get faced with a Special experience, like being at an orgy party.
But then then having an experience like that where I'm just like, there is nobody here I am attracted to. It's not that they are not attractive. It's that my brain is not doing the thing that says you like other people.
Right. It doesn't allow you to, which is very different because you obviously went to this party because you like the idea and you want to like try things out. And of course, your body physically just doesn't
just like you don't
let
want
you
to.
get there.
So the experience with the wand thing at this party, the way this party worked is it was a house, a 2-story house with a basement. Basement was a dungeon because it was hosted by a dom. And if you went to the upper stories, he had lessons on like how to safely. Specifically, he was doing like safety lessons on using a whip, was what he was doing up in the top story. Bottom story was where everybody was just, drinking, having fun. Most sexual stuff was not happening publicly in those areas. Most people were going to private rooms. It was a big house. Dude had a lot of money.
Oh, I see.
But you would go into a private room with the people that you selected, and that was what you would do.
Okay.
So there was this one dude who I want to say like maybe was in his mid-40s. Seemed very. He had a not quite a tool bag, but basically a tool bag he was carrying around almost like a purse. Bag. And it was his wand kit.
Oh!
And he was literally going.
Wait. Can I get an idea of like what this actually looks like at a typical swingers party? So like fully dressed, but like has like a little fanny pack.
Basically, yes. That's actually exactly what this was. And so everybody at the party
fanny pack in the front. Okay.
Yeah, everybody at the party knew that like if you wanted to do vanilla stuff, you could do that. If you wanted to do more kinky stuff, the dungeon was down there and you had access to it. All of that was like known info. So dude's just walking around with this fanny pack with his Wait, is he
the only one with a fanny pack though? No, I'm interested.
He was the only one who brought.
Did anybody else bring their own tools, or he's the only one?
I think he was. I think he was the only one. A couple of people brought like whips and tassels and stuff, like riding crops, stuff like that. Like nothing too out of the ordinary. This was the only person who came like fully equipped with shit, and he was just going. He was literally going person to person, asking if they wanted to try his kit, if they wanted to go down to the dungeon and try his kit, and just
that sure makes everybody feel special.
And I remember my partner at the time doing the whole like no thank you thing, and him just going, "Are you sure? Are you sure though? Are you really sure?" And the couple we did end up doing stuff with got solicited as well. They were doing the same thing, but they were just like, "No, I think we're good. We don't want to." So
okay.
I'm just remembering. I always, whenever I think about that item, I always think about the dude going around the swingers parties trying to solicit every person one by one, like an insurance sales agent. "Hey, do you want to try my wand?"
Excuse me, sir. Are you interested in trying out this new handed-down kit?
It's like, It's like,
I know it's shocking how good it is.
It was uncomfortable to the point where the combination of realizing that I didn't want to do anything with anybody there, and like stuff like that happening, and I also don't drink, so no amount of alcohol at the party was going to desensitize me to those uncomfortabilities. So
you weren't feeling more relaxed. You were very tense in this situation of someone trying to sell sex product use to you.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is not very I'm not interested. But he just kept. Did he like keep going? Is that what like really turned you off? You're like, no.
No, it was the uncomfortableness. Like, okay, so there was another thing that happened during this party. That was we went.
Everybody get your popcorn.
So we went to the top story of the building and found a private room. Closed the door. It was me and my partner at the time and another couple, and we're all doing stuff. No details, but I want you to imagine every 2 minutes, a random dude would just knock on the door. "Hey, y'all want another one in there? Sounds like y'all are having fun."
That's just weird though. Don't people like
every 2 minutes? If you
like
want to talk about the fastest
shouldn't
way,
like come in like I don't know. That's just like especially since it's like separate rooms for like doing activities and stuff.
yeah.
I don't know.
and
That's a little too much.
And there was a sad moment as well during all that. So when we were all finished with the room, and to be fair, I will say one good thing about the room is there were bottles of water, and there was a
That's
wicker
so thoughtful.
a wicker basket of condoms.
Oh my god, it's so thoughtful.
So, and that was how every room was set up that way, so that you had stuff there, and that was helpful. That was nice. But what was weird and kind of sad is when we left our room, there were about 3 other rooms with just guys sitting in the rooms on beds on their like playing on their phones, just waiting for somebody to come into the room with them. And
Well, that's
I'm just like, you're literally just up here waiting around for sex. That's not gonna happen.
like go talk to someone.
Yeah, like
what
go
the-
down and
Go
mingle.
down and talk to someone.
Go down and
Oh,
mingle
shit.
with people.
I am so sorry. I just got a raid. Hello, Conkeys TV. Welcome. Hi, everybody. I'm not talking as much to chat today because I'm very interested in Necosaurus and what they have to say today. We're interviewing them. They're really, really cool. New stream, who dis? It's Vivi-chan the Dragon. And today, if you see, look very, very closely. I'm Vivi-chan the Dragon. Hello, welcome. Hi, everybody.
Rosalind Faye in my chat is like, that's not how it works. I've been to so many of those. You don't ask to join people in the middle. Yikes.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is so
no,
fucking
it's-
weird.
So
Okay,
this is
for those that don't know, understand what's happening. So the context of the story is Neko Studios is telling us about something that was not a good experience for them when they went to a swingers party. At the swingers party, basically, there's been a lot of like weird etiquette issues where one person was going around asking if they want to participate in a certain fetish, and they brought all the tools for this fetish, but they went up to each person like a salesman. And another thing was someone that's like knocking on doors of people in the middle of doing things if they wanted another person to join. Shocking.
yeah, it's like you don't
They said no.
want that.
It's like, get out. And then there's other people apparently who are just laying down on the separate room beds, which are, you know, prepared for people to go in there to have sessions, and just waiting for people to just drop by and be like, hey, I want to hook up. You know, like, go, like, I don't know. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, it's
Come on,
just
this is where we're at.
it was weird. Like I'm glad I had the experience of doing it because I learned a lot of things about obviously etiquette, being able to take a step into that world a little bit more than I was at the time, because there's a difference between like doing private sessions with your partner that are BDSM and going to a munch. Like there's a difference.
Can you explain munch?
So while I have not been to one, I have a lot of friends who have, and the way they've explained the experience to me is, imagine a convention, 50 to 100, sometimes more people, everybody is there to talk about BDSM. They're not there like at a swingers party where everybody's there to fuck and everybody's there to do stuff.
It's just to discuss.
They're there to meet other people who are into BDSM. They're there to talk with other people. Sometimes they're there to give lessons, like the guy was doing in the upper
I
stories
see.
about whipping.
So not necessarily to like actually partner with anybody.
Yeah, they're not going there to partner.
It's just a
They're going there to
little a
learn.
casual gathering to like talk.
Yeah, people go there to learn and mingle and meet people. They're not going there all the time specifically to have experiences the way that you would at like a party like that. But there's a difference between being part of the BDSM community insofar as you're doing things with a partner, and being part of the BDSM community insofar as you are going out with and meeting other people who are part of that community as well and sharing experiences with them. Like those are two different monsters in terms of scale and scope.
Right. It's very different to really immerse yourself in like having like, let's say like a bunch of friends that are all into this and like very, very, you know, open about everything versus like for one experience you wanted to try.
Yeah, and Rosalind Faye in my chat and Digimouse in your chat are both saying the exact same thing. Like, their munches are their meetups. You go there, you talk shop. It's a community gathering. It's not an orgy. If somebody goes there,
thank you for the clarification. For those of you that don't understand,
if somebody goes there
munches
thinking
are like brunches. They're not like orgies.
if somebody goes there expecting it to be that, that is usually considered a red flag. that is something that is considered.
Wait, you met people at a munch that were doing that?
So while I haven't
Like they
been
were
to a
like
munch,
hitting real hard.
so there's
okay.
so etiquette at munches, from what I understand, and etiquette at polyamory gatherings are basically identical. You're there to talk with people. You're there to meet with people. You're there to talk about this subsection of your life. Like I'm polyamorous, so.
Right.
I've had the experience of sitting down and talking with other people who are poly. You don't put a bunch of poly people in a room and have them have conversation expecting that the end result is they're all going to end up fucking.
Right,
Because
of course.
that's
With
not
that kind
how
of
it works. Just like you don't put a
having
bunch
that,
of kinky
like, hang
people
over someone is like just weird.
Yeah, it's like you don't put a bunch of kinky people in a room and then walk out and expect them to all to just start banging at the end of the day. That's not how it works. They're all functional adults just like anybody else.
Right.
Slap Happy says I've never been to a poly gathering.
Gino, no, that's bad. It doesn't mean we'll have sex. You're already here. That's bad. That's a wrong attitude.
Slap Happy.
Bad. Somebody time him out.
If you
time
go
out Gino Poo for 30 seconds.
If you go to meetup.com, at least I think it's meetup.com, you can find...
Oh, the meetups! I see those.
Yeah, you can
There's
find...
ones for
like,
munches? Oh.
Yeah, there's ones for munches. There's ones for gatherings of poly people. There's all kinds. You can find those community groups there. And the big red flag in both of them, identically, is if somebody goes there looking for sex, that is a red flag. Everybody there should know and understand that's a red flag.
Honestly, this is very applicable to like things outside of the kink community as well. I'm sure you guys have all been to a lot of different things. It's kind of weird to go to like random mixers
go to like
of
an
any
anime
topics.
Go to like an anime
Yeah,
convention
like
where somebody's like, aha, it's a fetish
your
thing.
conference or something for, I don't know, leather enthusiasts or something, like any of those things. It's gonna be weird if someone is going there specifically to hook up with people with the same hobbies.
Yeah.
It's a little, it's strange. Like, don't do that. Don't put that awkwardness on other people, okay?
Yeah,
like, there are events specifically for looking for partners. That's not one of them. Go to those.
If you
Why
wanna...
are you going to these?
Said leather enthusiast Keck. I mean, so for the longest time, it was not called the kink community. It was called the leather community.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so funny.
If you've ever read the book, The Ethical Slut.
I have not.
So
tell us about this book.
So the premise of the book is it was written years ago, but it was basically a one-stop shop guide to navigating being polyamorous, engaging in kink communities, stuff like that. But when that book was written at the time, kink was just called the leather community. So that's the language the book uses when it's describing stuff like that. And when I was reading it, it was when I was first being introduced to polyamory, and I had no idea. So when I was reading it, I was like, why do they keep calling them the leather community? It doesn't make any sense.
So you're like, I don't think leather is the only thing related.
Yeah, it's like,
to
I don't think
community.
leather's the only kink, but okay.
There's so many other things I don't understand. Oh my god, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, now I get it.
But it made sense to me later when I was like, okay, I understand why this book is written the way it is, why it's using the language it does. It's like reading, like, same kind of issue, but different level of weirdness. I started reading H.P. Lovecraft recently. I had never done it before, but I mean, there's so many stories that we have that are based off of his works. I started reading them, and the amount of things he says in those books that I'm just like, that feels incredibly racist. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, he's writing from like 150 years ago. Of course he's incredibly racist.
Yes, it's incredibly racist. Yes. Not just normal, it's like super. Uber racist, if you will.
Pika says, wait, I have to read like some kind of nerd? Reading is good. Reading is fine.
No, I get that, actually. So, Pikachu... I also hate reading. Once I discovered that I can get information through visual means like movies and videos, YouTube has become my best friend for learning anything that I need to ever in my life.
That's fair.
I mean, reading is great. Like, it's a different experience, and I do enjoy it. It's just not something that is as enjoyable to me as, like, other mediums. I definitely learn better through other mediums as well. But yeah, sometimes some things are worth, like, pushing through. And you never know, maybe there's an audiobook out there that can help you out too. That definitely helps me a lot. Audiobooks are so much easier.
In audiobook form. That's actually how I
see,
consumed
there we
it.
go. There we go. Get Ethical Slut today. No, I don't mean like get a person. Like, you know, the book. The book. I'm talking about a book.
Just
the book,
if
Ethical Slut.
If you do read it, just please understand it is a little outdated in the language that it uses, but it's not a non-useful item still.
I understand what you mean. You have to take it in context. So like obviously don't, you know, use it like a Bible. You know, just use it as a way of like learning more things about something.
Use it as an introduction. There's other stuff. There's other things that you can learn from over. Again, you will learn more about these communities by engaging with them than you will by reading about them.
All right, that's fair. That's very fair. So for you, how would you say that you kind of like started on this path for like gradually easing into different, like less vanilla things?
So the way it actually, a lot of this stems from that swingers party.
Wait, no, but if you're going to a swingers party, that must have started before that.
So what happened is
you knew you were poly at that point.
No, I didn't.
Like,
I actually.
Oh, you didn't.
So that's why I said a lot of this stems from that. So what?
Wait. Then what made you want to go to a swingers party then?
All right. So the context for this is my partner at the time. I was her first for anything. Like I was a couple years older than her. We started dating like right as she was getting out of high school. And so after about a year or two of being in a relationship, we found that there were a lot of things that she had never had a chance to experience because she started dating me. And I was a very vanilla person at the time, so I just didn't do any of the things she wanted to try. So I was like, okay, let me try to adjust my habits so that they help you more. What we found is there's only so far you can go with that. One of the things is she had never been able to sleep with people who weren't me. The only person she had as an experience was me. So eventually we started finding other couples that wanted to do stuff. And granted, I learned to befriend those couples before we would do anything. So never got the information about being demi quite yet. But
that's like a really big step to take, I would say.
Yeah, this was me trying to make sure that things would be more comfortable for her at the time.
I see.
Then there was one couple that we wanted to do stuff with, but they said, well, actually, there's this party that we're going to be going to, this swingers party. We could meet up there and do stuff. And we were like, okay, well, we both worked a lot. So we're like, okay, if that's the only like scheduling opportunity, then sure, we'll take that. And that's how I found myself at a swingers party, is there was a couple that invited us and we were there for that couple, but there was other people there, more opportunities there. And that's where my brain just went, none of this matters. You don't like any of this. What are you doing? So over time, though, I'd actually already been introduced to polyamory before this, not through my relationship, but one of my friends I met on World of Warcraft years ago, and we'd maintained a good friendship.
Okay.
She had a boyfriend and also a husband. And so it was normalized to me early on that was a relationship structure that people could engage in. Well, I started talking with them about like, hey, so there's this couple that we've been doing stuff with because my partner at the time wants to experience group stuff, wants to experience stuff with people who are not just me, and I want to allow that because I don't want to be like, you're not allowed to experience things. So during a lot of that relationship, I started asking this friend, I was like, hey, so I'm starting to develop feelings for the person that we're doing things with. Is that normal? And she was like, oh, you're on the slippery slope to polyamory. Good luck with that.
Good luck. Hope your worldview is okay.
And so we eventually ended up getting, into it was about a 5-person relationship.
Yes, exactly. This was the gateway to polyamory. Wow. The gateway. Now we all know. Everybody go on World of Warcraft right now. No, I'm just kidding.
So that ended up leading me down that slope of like, okay, here's the, like, I basically fell, face first through the trapdoor into, this is what a polyamory community is like. This is what a kink community is like. This is what all this is like. I literally just fell right into it because that's what was happening as I was trying to make things more comfortable for my partner. Now, granted, I'm not going to say that I was perfect in that scenario. I certainly was a toxic mess as well. But, these were the bits that I was acquiescing on. And eventually, she ended up finding somebody who I believe she is still with. And we ended up breaking up. And she is with that other group of people now. And that is fine. But I ended up learning a lot about polyamory while being in this first polyship. It was about 5 people, was what our relationship was at one point.
I see.
And then,
so like for you, I was talking to another person that was also in polyamory. They were saying that like, you can enjoy the different feelings that come. So for her, she liked the feeling of feeling jealous. Which was interesting that she like got to work through it as long as it's not in a harmful way. I was wondering for you, like, what was it like? You don't seem to have very strong feelings about that kind of stuff in terms of like possession or anything. Or that jealousy, at least from the way that we're talking about it, you seem very.
I started out with a lot of jealousy issues.
I see.
To the point where it led to me discovering that I actually had an anxiety disorder as well.
Wait, really? Oh man.
Yeah, I ended up being on Klonopin for a while, trying to get that sort of. I lost a career as a result of that while I was going through all of that adjustment.
Oh my.
It also didn't help that like the couple that we were dating, I was dating the girl in that couple, and then my partner had another partner outside of that. But the girl who was in that relationship, there was a boundary that I put up that she ignored.
Oh no, that's a ugh.
Yeah, we had so my partner and that couple, they were sexually attracted, but they were not romantically attracted. I was romantically and sexually attracted to the girl. So I was dating the girl, but she was able to do things physically with them as much as she wanted. Didn't bother me. My only rule was I don't want details. You guys can go do whatever you want, and I can know that it's happening, but, don't send me a message while I'm at work bragging about the things you guys are doing. Come on now. Like,
okay,
let me focus on this. That boundary was put up, and there was I don't want to say what the thing was, but there was an action that my partner said that it hurt her to do. So she was not comfortable doing it with me because it hurt her to do it. I said, okay, that's fine. We won't do that. And then I got a message.
Like, do what? Are you talking about like
it was a particular position sexually.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure like what it was. Okay.
And
so gotcha.
I had said that that's fine. I understand that this is painful for you to do, so we just won't do that, and that's fine.
Right.
And then I get a message from the girl because they're doing stuff with my partner while I'm at work, which again is fine. That was within our agreements.
Oh, but then she started talking about it?
She started talking about what they were doing, and she was doing the position that she refused to do with me with the guy in their coupling.
Okay.
And she had said, I thought you said that she didn't do that. And I was like, well, yeah, she said she didn't. It hurt her, so she didn't like doing it. And she went, I mean, she's been doing it with Mark for the past 15 minutes. What are you, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's been doing it for this whole time. And she's fine. And I was just like, so one, I told you not to tell me because I didn't want to deal with this. Two, now I know she's lying, so we've got another problem to deal with. Now we've got we've been dating for years, and there's this thing that you're not willing to do with me that you're willing to do with all kinds of other people now. And now we have another problem.
I mean, did she say that it was something that she absolutely would never want to do with anyone, or just with you?
So it was that she wouldn't do it with anybody because it hurt her. Like, that didn't change based on who it was.
So that was like her reasoning. Her reasoning was just like, it hurts.
It hurts,
so I don't do that
it.
position.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was, okay, but if it's anybody else, it's perfectly fine. And what I started to find out through that was that she just didn't want to do things with me. As she was discovering other people and other people's bodies, our sex life basically died. It stopped existing. And granted,
oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It's an experience I've only ever had the one time there. But I
oh my god,
I feel like that was less on sex life stuff and more on us both being fairly toxic people, and that was one of the ways that toxicity bred in her. But yeah.
Oh my god, that's so sad. Like, she definitely was not communicating clearly and didn't want to try to, like, it's a very roundabout way of trying to, like, get all the needs that you have, that you need for a relationship without actually consulting everybody that's influenced by the relationship.
It ended up being a situation where I started to realize the reason that we had never had relationship problems was because we didn't have conflict, and the reason we didn't have conflict is we weren't really communicating. So what seemed like a perfect and healthy relationship was actually not, because we weren't talking. And I found as I got older and matured more, I realized that, okay, so when you talk all the time, yeah, you might fight more, but you also get your issues resolved. You solve your problems. Which is not something that I had... In my brain at the time, I was like, oh, we don't fight, so everything's cool. That's not the case.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Yeah, exactly. So this is applicable, obviously, to all types of relationship dynamics. Obviously, like, I always find it really funny because, like, they do show that in, like, movies and things like that. They're like, yeah, they're such a perfect couple, they never fight. I'm like, no, that means they never talk. Everybody's gonna disagree on shit, okay? It's just normal. You're gonna disagree. You disagree with your mom, disagree with your dad, disagree with your parents, disagree with your sister, you disagree with your best friend. Like, those things happen. What's more important is how you talk through those things. Can you talk through it in a nice way and, like, actually come out better for it at the end? If you're just not talking about anything and just be like, oh yeah, let's just, I don't know, not talk about today, let's keep a happy face on, that shit is gonna build up. There's, like, so many things that you haven't worked through. Your relationship dynamic is gonna be, like, so, like, you have to fine tune it. I don't know if you know this, but people change over time.
And yeah.
You need to keep talking about things. It's not like, oh, I established a rule now, and this is how it will be forever. If I had anything in my life like that, I'd be set. There's, like, 0 things in my life like this. I don't know about you, but I feel like there's so many things, like, it's gonna change. Like, a year from now, I might be like, oh yeah, I hate fucking red wine, I like white wine now. And, like, that tiny thing will lead to, like, a whole, like, series of things about, like, where you're gonna go for vacation, about, like, what kind of shit you're gonna do. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that can change. This is why it's important to have, like, daily conversations. Just, like, keep each other in check. All the other things. Don't be that person that just stays quiet. Be like, eh.
It's very easy to find yourself developing toxic habits when there's no checks and balances, and you can't develop checks and balances if you're not talking.
It's very true. So get out there and have an argument with your partners today. No, just kidding. That's not what we're advertising. Just, you know, have a few talks.
Go into your partner's
You know,
office
it doesn't
with a
have to
Nerf
be with
gun
your
and tell them
partners
it's time
either.
for
It
a
can...
fight.
Yeah, yes, like that. That's a perfect way to do it. It doesn't even have to be like someone that you're romantically involved with. Like, if you feel like you have, you know, a best friend, and, like, you guys, like, don't really talk that much, like, that kind of stuff can also build up. So go talk with your friends. Go beat up someone today, and then have a conversation about it. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't.
With your therapist.
With your therapist. It'll be like the duo, like, X gonna give it to you. Go give it to you. Like, 2 people going out. No. I'm just kidding. Don't hurt people. Anyway. So yeah, thank you so much for talking about that. I believe the starting conversation piece actually for this was about different types of sex tools to use, and I believe we got maybe a little sidetracked.
We had
I believe you were talking about a shock wand.
Yeah,
Electric wand.
The experience of the electric wand.
Wow, look at us go. No, but of course. Okay, so electric wand is one of them. So we know that what it does is I would say, can you describe a little bit more for people that might not know, in terms of like technicalities, what it is? So it's like probably either battery operated or something like that. It delivers a little shock at the edge.
This one was battery operated. It was a wand that had a rounded tip at the top, so you can't just like poke somebody with it.
Right.
And
right. Don't stab anyone.
The idea with it is that you go to different pleasure points on the body, and you give a little bit of electric stimulation with it. It doesn't give a shock like a taser, like one of those jolt things.
Right. That will actually damage you.
Yeah, it's a concentrated thing of electricity that's going through constantly, and then on your machine you can usually increase the voltage or decrease the voltage. Most of them are set up in such a way where you can't increase them to a dangerous amount,
right? Of course.
But they do have those functions on them. I did not see everything in this person's kit, but I'm imagining lots of batteries. The last thing you want is wires. You get tangled up in wires. Don't use wires.
That's very true. You want to stay mobile. Gotta stay on your tippy toes. Yeah, shock you over here, shock you over there. No, just kidding. So that's one tool. And I would say, can you explain like what kind of sensation that feels like?
So I've not experienced it. So
oh, you haven't? Okay, I thought you have. Okay.
Correct. No, my experience with it was watching a person make everybody at a party very uncomfortable.
you just made everybody uncomfortable. Okay, so that's a different story. Okay, you know how like you go across like a carpet and you zap someone with like it's sort of like that, but like a little stronger. So it's like, well, I mean, it can be whatever amount, I guess, depending on the toy. But yeah, that's the thing. Some people like it. If you guys ever seen Euphoria, it's in there. Hopefully it doesn't make you pee automatically like that. That was a little too much. You need to probably check your voltage if you made someone pee.
I'd say probably one of the, if you're into exploring your partner's body, especially if you're a guy, one of the most useful things you can pick up if you have not already, sizing tools. Sizing tools are very helpful. And a sizing tool is just a series of plugs that are meant to, you use each one it's like a set of, usually get a set of 3. And it's a small one, a medium one, and a large one. And the idea is to stretch out a part of the body so that you can utilize it more. It's also
yeah, we talked about this word training.
Yeah,
you can do like a little bit of training, size training.
Now I will say there are people that try to get into stuff like anal play, for instance, that try to get into that immediately. They're just like, yeah, no, it's time of the moment. I'm just going to use my saliva and don't. Please get.
Oh no.
Get sizing tools. Trust me. You can, and there's more you can do with them than just, increasing the capacity of a particular orifice. It also changes the sensations when you're using other parts of the body as well. Just they're good things to have in your drawer. But yeah, no, just I have met people that are just like, I don't like doing this thing. Okay, why? Oh, because when I did it, it was like this and it hurt. Oh, it hurt because you weren't using the right things. Please use the right tool. Use a water-based.
Someone tried to stretch me out.
Use a water-based lubricant,
before preparing me. No, yeah, definitely. I say this a lot. This is why you need to be slow and steady. Each person's body is different. You need to be relaxed, and some things stretch a little bit better depending on where your brain is in the situation. I'm trying to say this without being like, yes, that moment of. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, but it's
But yeah, there's times where it's more amenable to stretching than other times. If you're warmed up, it's easier. And obviously, if you're not ready, you can definitely majorly hurt someone this way.
Well, and
So,
the more times you engage in a practice like that, the more your body
mhm,
will
mhm.
the more your body will
Yes,
adapt to it. So it's not.
the human body is ridiculously adaptable. It's crazy. There's a lot of things that you can train your body to do.
Yeah, and
Yes,
there's
yes, yes.
it should also be noted, just be warned, if you are doing stuff up there, those are areas where, what's the best way to put this? A lot of bacteria lives. And when you are doing that kind of play, you can end up opening things up that aren't supposed to be opened.
Hmm.
You can cause open wounds, and those will almost always lead to infections. And if
Yeah,
your partner,
because they don't usually open up there. So,
yeah, and if
of
you're
course, your body's going to be like, oh, God, the bacteria is right here.
and
Okay.
if you're not properly cleaning everything down there, you can also cause yeast infections.
Can you talk us through about some best practices that maybe you use or like some friends use for making sure all these things are clean? Because I think a lot of us know how to get down and dirty, but maybe not
So
how to do it neatly.
please use a specialized toy cleaner. Most of your toys are going to be some variant of silicone, and there's ways in which those can actually get damaged if you're just using like water and soap. Please
Yeah,
use
make sure to check your toys.
yeah, use an actual toy cleaner. That will prevent that damage from happening. Because here's the thing: when you damage silicone, you create a pocket for bacteria to live in. So no matter how many times you clean it after that point, that pocket will still be there. So
Disgusting.
yeah, it's and again, if you don't want your partner to have a yeast infection, it's best not to let bacteria live in your toys. Know that when you've hit a certain point, it's time for a toy to be thrown away. If you have damaged a silicone toy, replace it.
Probably throw it out. One of my favorites is, I say this a lot, is using condoms on like your toys. Makes things so much easier for some types of cleanup.
It's like using aluminum. It's like using aluminum wrap on your grill.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's such a good analogy. No, exactly. Okay. So like it's almost exactly the same in terms of heat transfer, right?
Oh, speaking of heat transfer, that reminds me. There's a myth that people back when I was in high school were using when they were like, I'm gonna make sure that I'm never gonna get pregnant. They would try to like double up on condoms.
Oh no. That's how you
Never.
break condoms.
That
Don't
creates
do that.
so much friction between the
That's
materials.
so much extra friction. You will break This is why, I don't know if you guys know that. I'm sure those of you that have gone through sex ed, they tell you not to put on 2 condoms. But this is the reason why. If you didn't know, it's because they slide against each other. That's not just one big piece of rubber anymore. Well, whatever material it is, maybe latex.
Could
And
be-
like
could
if
be
they
land if
slide
you're
against
allergic
each
to
other,
latex.
or lanolin, exactly. Natural sheep's intestines. I know, delicious. And if they rub against each other too much, they can break a lot more easily. It's not used to that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like
Don't use 2 trash bags.
don't use a trash bag at all, please. And don't
Trash bag.
please
Oh my
do not
God.
try to make your own toy using cornstarch and water. Don't.
I have never tried that before.
You can
Wait, what is that?
You can use you can make a paste with cornstarch and water. And it creates almost like a gelatin like
The non-Newtonian fluid, yeah. The thing that like if you hit it really hard, it'll have like a lot more resistance, but if you do it really slowly, it'll have less resistance. So it's like opposite of what we usually think of.
You can use more cornstarch to get something that has like a close approximation to rubber almost. Here's the thing. When you create anything like that, you're creating millions of micro pockets for bacteria to be. None of that is safe. Please never do that. There are people on the internet that do it.
Can you explain like what the goal of making something out of that would have been in the first place?
There are people.
I have actually never heard of this, so I don't know
There are people.
that people wanted this.
There were people
in
who
the
will
first place.
use that and then put it in like a Pringles can, basically, to create a homemade fleshlight.
Oh, that makes so much sense now. Okay.
And I'm sure that something like that sounds really appealing to somebody who's like on a budget and they're like, oh my god, this would be so amazing. I've got
This would be a great
$1's worth.
fleshlight.
I've got a Pringles can and $1's worth of cornstarch in the pantry. I'm gonna go make myself a fleshlight right now. Don't actually. Don't.
All right, homemade fleshlight. Bad idea. Don't do it. Would you say that is there a safe alternative to doing
getting
something
it.
like this?
The safe alternative is using lubricant in your hand. You can
okay,
you,
so
have,
the
you can wash your
old-fashioned-
hand.
You can.
That's the safe
Okay,
alternative.
how about this? How about this? What if they use the Pringles can and the cornstarch water non-Newtonian sexy fluid, but only once? Like they do it once and they throw it out. Each time that they masturbate with their special fleshlight, they get a can of Pringles, they eat it all, wash it out.
I sincerely hope they're ready to have an hour or two of prep before they do any type of self-satisfaction every time.
Have to do it every
Quedlin
time.
says,
this way.
wait, people are fucking oobleck. No. You're not making oobleck. Oobleck is this stuff hardens into like a rubber almost. So you're not making oobleck. Yeah, you're not making oobleck. You're making something that is harder, and it's people do use it as an approximation to a fleshlight.
I'm sure people use it like all kinds of stuff. I'm sure you can set up like, I don't know, let's say like 10 Pringles cans filled with Jello. I feel like that's possible. Use and use and throw. Yeah.
If you do that though,
make sure you clean yourself. But
I think at that point it might even be too late because you're introducing sugars into your urethra. At that point, like now you're gonna have a yeast infection.
That makes sense.
Like that's why you don't. That's why when you're using
But reusing a cum sock probably is not great either, though, right?
Don't have a cum sock. Just don't.
But so many people have their favorite sweater, old T-shirt, sock that they use for this, right?
Tissues, preferably not even.
Tissues are better because you throw them out right after.
Preferably
that's true. There's also sugar-free Jello.
Yeah,
but I don't know how that works.
Preferably
maybe we'll perfect the Jello sex toy industry right now.
Preferably not even tissues. Use a paper towel because tissues tend to also have oils on them that are meant to make it to where they are less problematic for your nose.
Oh, the lotiony.
But you don't want to introduce that lotion and oil down in your private areas because it's.
Wait. But you can use like lots of lubes and stuff like that down there. You can use a lot of different, maybe not like the stereotypical lotion, but you can use like baby oil, Vaseline, those kind of things are okay.
There's a lot of, basically, if you're going to put anything down there, look up and see if it affects your pH, especially if you've got a vagina, because that type of stuff can affect your pH levels, and when it does, that's one of the ways you get infections.
Have overgrowth. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, a lot of people with vaginas, there's a very delicate balance of different naturally occurring bacteria inside of that hole. And when the pH changes, the flora or the proportion of the different bacteria can change, and that can make you sick. That's the kind of stuff that gives you like yeast infections, for example. It's not that yeast is not in your vagina ever. It's that when you have an imbalance, some things can overgrow, and that's not the way it's supposed to be, and then your body can get sick.
Yeah, on and on. Shaped Dragon goes, no Vaseline.
Is Vaseline bad? I've used Vaseline. No oil. I've definitely used oil.
It is generally best to use things that are water based.
I've not used Crisco, but maybe I'm not that adventurous.
Look, you just have to be far enough into the South to where nobody will sell you a condom because of premarital sex things, but you can use a trash bag and some Crisco solid, and that'll work, I'm sure.
Don't say that. Someone out there will really do it.
I'm sure there's somebody.
All right, everybody, just get your big tub. This is how you save money. Don't buy condoms. Just go and get trash bags.
Get a trash bag from the local Walmart. If it's strong enough to carry milk, it's strong enough to carry semen.
Oh my god, it's terrible. So I never proclaim to give good advice. So there we go. Don't forget the Snickers wrapper. No, Pikachu, no. We're not talking about this anymore.
Pika,
oh my God.
we don't use a Snickers wrapper. We use a Twix wrapper so we can hold 2.
I hate you. Okay, so going on to these tools and stuff like that. Do you have any experience with anybody going through sex change or like in general identify as a different gender than they were assigned at birth?
Oh, just anybody who's trans? I mean, yeah, my partner's gender fluid.
Okay.
So
I was wondering, would you say there's any tools that are more specific to someone that is trans or in special circumstances during sexual reassignment?
So bear in mind, I'm going to be coming at this from the perspective of somebody who's cis. So a lot of what I say is going to be based off conversations I've had, not necessarily off of my own personal experience.
Right. That's okay.
So I'd say one of the obvious things is, let's say you are femme to masc trans, and you have not yet had bottom surgery. A affirming thing you can do is using a strap-on. That is an option that you have.
Right.
The other way around, that I don't have much information on because I consider myself heterosexual. So most anybody who I've dated, even if they are trans, they usually were AFAB. So that...
Sorry, can you explain some of these just for viewers? They might not know.
AFAB just means assigned female at birth. So as a result, my experiences are going to be entirely locked into that category, unfortunately.
No, of course, I understand. That's fine. Yeah, I was wondering, like, in your experience or from what you've heard from other people, of course, yes, I think a lot of people know about the strap-ons.
Yeah, it's like
which, by the way,
thing.
People can also use that if they're not involved with someone that is trans. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. There's a thing where you like a person with a penis can put on a strap-on, so there's like 2 penises, so it's like, one for each hole or something like that. There's all kinds of things to use. Anyway,
yeah, there's also double-sided dildos as well.
Right, exactly. The double-sided dildos. I was wondering if there's ones that maybe people haven't heard about as much.
So I'm not an expert on toys. So despite the fact that I'm actually sponsored by a sex shop.
Wait, you want to plug it for a second? Go for it.
Sure. If you, I'm actually sponsored by DDLG Playground. If you use coupon code Surus, you'll get 10% off of anything there.
Let's go!
But I know that there's one thing, especially if you're a guy, that you might not realize, and I don't remember what the name of the particular toy is, but it's... I'm going to send the image of it real quick because I can't remember the name for some reason.
All right, everybody brace yourselves.
I said I would send an image, but then I realized that the way we got the Discord call set up might not allow for it. One sec. I'll send it that way, and then I'll go back to full screen, and that'll fix that.
I see you send something.
I don't know if it actually... Oh,
I see a picture. It says Lilo.
Lilo?
The brand, it looks like Lilo with like little infinity DNA signs on the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm not allowed to send this in chats. I think that would be a little too much. But what I can do is put it in the Discord. Alright, I'm gonna put this in the Discord so you guys can see what we're talking about. For those of you that are interested, you guys can exclamation mark Discord to go there. I'm just gonna put it in, let's see.
So
what that is
Naked
Land porn.
That is a type of prostate toy. The idea behind that is it allows you, without somebody having to get all up in your business if you're you'd have to be AMAB because that's when you have the prostate there. So something like that. That can be not necessarily helpful for anything trans affirming particularly, but that can be a very helpful item just in general. A lot of people don't realize is there. Like you said before, when people are thinking of sex toys, usually they're thinking of they're just thinking of dildos, various types of wands, something shaped like that. They'll look at that and just be like, is this a silicone wishbone from a turkey? I don't know what this is.
Silicone wishbone.
But
Go ahead, explain. Oh man.
and now there's an awkward silence. We keep it for as long as possible.
That's how you know we're having good conversations.
But so no, when you say, like, is there a thing that just doesn't come to people's minds automatically? That's one of the things that comes to my mind when I'm just like, yeah, this is the thing people don't think about.
That is true. I was just thinking, yeah, there's lots of things that we don't usually think about as much. I think a lot of people also, we talk like about like dental dams like in a joking kind of way a lot, I think. I don't know if you've ever used dental dams.
I've never used one.
I guess it's like a little different for you. I think it's probably more between people with vaginas.
Mouth condom.
Yes.
It's a mouth condom. I mean, there's certain...
But I don't know if people know this, but you can use a regular condom as a dental dam.
True.
It's like you literally there's actually instructions for this, very easy, because it's the same kind of material. And what you want to do is you want to cut it on its side so that it opens, like unrolls.
Darth Zibi says,
so like once you have it unrolled,
what's a dental dam? It's a sheet of latex or polyurethane that is meant to serve the same purpose of a condom in terms of like being a barrier for infections or diseases or anything like that. But it still lets you have. It's
really important that you use. Yes, exactly.
It lets you still have oral and anal sex. Actually, this is a thing that not just in the kink community, but in the polyamorous community, this is a thing that gets talked about as well. Because in poly communities, there's a concept called fluid bonding. Where there are partners that you may engage in sexual intercourse with, but you don't fluid bond. You don't have... I mean, I don't think I have to explain what that term means. It feels kind of self-explanatory. But in general... Use
your imagination, people.
Yeah, use your imagination. Think of fluids that transfer between people. Think of fluids that transfer between people. But it just...
how would you bond?
It's just there are couples who do not engage in non-protective sex. All of their sex is protective sex, whether they're using dental dams or they're using condoms or anything like that. Now, granted, if you've got something like an IUD, then there's certainly the ability to fluid bond more. But please remember that birth control does not stop transfer of diseases.
Yep. This is why condoms are like touted so much, right? They're the only thing that like kind of prevent those kinds of things from happening to you.
To an extent, never forget that a condom can break.
Yes, it can break, and some efficacy can also change over time as well, depending on the materials. And just so you know, saran wrap is not the same thing.
It's
I don't know if you know this, but it's not the same. So don't just use saran wrap.
If somebody tries to convince you, because I've actually watched I saw a thing on this. It was hilarious. It was a dude trying to convince a girl who legitimately wanted to sleep with him. He was like, I can't use a condom. I'm too big for it. I've tried, didn't work out well in the past. And so the girl...
Don't use that shit! Oh my god, do you know how big it can be?
The girl responded by putting a condom on her toe and then rolling it all the way to her thigh.
It's like, okay, is it bigger than this?
It's like, is it bigger than the circumference of my thigh? Because if so...
You're too big for me. I can't fit this.
Also, another thing on I was just reminded of this when condom safety is concerned. So do not just go out and get the biggest condom you can because you have such a low opinion of your own size that you need to find a way to inflate it. Accept the fact that you may not have won the genetic lottery. But a snug condom will always be better.
Yes, so it can be too loose, guys, and then you'll lose it. Have you ever had that experience where like you pull out and then like, you know,
Where'd it go?
condom stayed there? That can happen if your condom's too loose.
Just don't use that as an excuse to stealth. People who stealth
Don't do that. Don't do that shit. It's fucking creepy. Okay.
It is.
So I say this all the time. I think size honestly doesn't matter that much. Obviously, there's like a comfortable range for each person.
If size mattered, then lesbians would not be able to enjoy themselves.
Exactly. But clearly, you can. There's a lot of different tools that you can use if the size of something that enters you matters to you. But it doesn't always necessarily have to be, you know, a flesh and blood pee-pee.
You can get an extender. They make.
There's so many things. Exactly. There's so many things you can do.
They make dildos that have one side of it looks like a regular dildo. The back side of it, though, is open for you to stick your own junk into, so that you can utilize it as if, you know, anything was normally happening. And some of them are made to where you don't feel that. It just kind of uses your junk as a fixation point. Some of them are made so that you can still feel what you're doing as well. You can enjoy it. Basically, it's a condom and a fleshlight together in the same package. So like you have options. If you desperately, like if you're dating a size queen, for instance, there are options available for you.
Definitely. Can you explain to everybody the term that you just used?
So a size queen is not a gender specific term, but the term usually is size queen.
Yes.
But the idea behind that is it's somebody who trains an orifice of entry, whatever it may be, to be larger and larger and larger and accept larger items.
Yes.
You'll find probably one of the most well-known proprietors of stuff for them is probably Bad Dragon. They make things that are large enough for people who are size queens, because there's certain kinks and certain fetishes around having that filled up to a point that no human would realistically ever be able to manage.
Right.
But
so yeah, that's what it is.
That's the thing. Manchester
What do you mean
says,
duration matters? Duration matters.
Like
are you saying the toy will help you last longer?
No, like the amount of time that you're engaging in things with people. But again, can I say this one as well? If you are a person who does not last long, like let's say you pop in and you've got a good 30 seconds of pumping in you, the first thing to say is, one, you're probably doing it wrong. Trust me, you thrusting is not as enjoyable for your partner as you think. Just throwing that out there. Be creative. There's lots of ways to simulate. And guess what? If you stimulate your partner to the point where they orgasm, it doesn't matter if you last 30 seconds. Just use that as your time to enter in. Now you've got 30
exactly.
seconds.
I say this all the damn time. No, this is why it's so important. There's a lot of different things they can do to help each other get to a point of arousal and then getting to orgasm if that's what you want to do. And like there's definitely many ways to do that. That is not just the in and outs, you know, vanilla pumping thing, you know? Like, there's lots of things. And of course, like Pseudos was saying, obviously pumping doesn't have to be just for 30 seconds and then you're done, you know? Like, I don't know if anybody really enjoys that, honestly. Even the person doing the pumping, I'm not sure how, like, fun that is for them.
There are people who look at...
It's very short.
There are people who look at sex as the quest for orgasm. And... I guess the fastest they can get to the end of the quest, the better. Like it's an MMORPG.
See, I can get that for like people with vaginas. I think it's easier for people with vaginas to keep coming over and over again if you just want to get to like a lot of orgasms, okay? But I think it's much harder for a person with a penis because they usually have a long refractory period. You can't really enjoy very much after that. It's kind of like your one shot of getting pleasure and you did it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, like you can train yourself to be able to have a second time in you if you've got a penis, but like trust me, that does not necessarily mean that you should not also focus on everything else. Like there's an entire community of and a lot of this is like alpha male dude bros. Where they
Dude bros.
constantly have conversations about, all right, what can I do to last longer? What are some exercises I can do to last longer? And like, here's a way to last longer in bed.
Think about your grandma.
Stop thrusting. That's an easy way to last longer in bed. Go down on your partner. You'll last as long as you want. It's easy.
That is true. That is very, very true. Sorry, I disappeared for a second because this has been requested of me. Hello.
Bubbles.
Hi, everybody.
So there's a Manchester said, does anyone think that just pumping is good? Yeah, probably. There are. Look.
I mean, I think it's contextual. You have to be in a certain place of your arousal for just the pumping to be good, right?
And at that point,
some people can reach that point
foreplay.
in different places. Exactly. But it might be harder to get there if you're not in the right mindset.
Also, Manchester, you can ask a question at any point. Like I'm available for questions.
Ask away. Sex is not a race. Exactly, Gino Poo. No speed runs, guys. I saw
No.
that in both chats. People have been
Sex is-
talking about sex speed run.
Sex is a race, and I have the superior race. I am racist against bad
No.
sex.
Oh my god! You learned about soaking like a few weeks ago.
Oh,
No, that's a whole other
no.
thing. No, that has nothing to do with this. No, Gino Poo. What are you talking
It
about?
has everything to do with this,
Oh my
especially
God.
jump humping.
Oh my god.
Gina, never
Oh my
remember.
god, it's killing me.
Remember, I began my channel talking about religion and philosophy. I learned about soaking a long time ago.
Sorry, excuse me. I just had to hydrate, clear my palate. Okay,
Why did,
So-
why did he have to say that in the shadow voice? I've been thinking about why the left is obsessed with speed running, Sonic.
oh my god.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
No. Pleasure you're first, you'll last longer. The bigger trick to figure out how to make women orgasm. So you're saying like, I mean, I don't know. I don't like that either, honestly.
Fenakagami, do you want to know how you solve that mystery? There's a very easy way to solve that mystery. You talk with your partner.
Yeah.
You just be like, hey, when you do things to you, what feels good? Okay, I will
Right.
do those things. Because guess what? If your partner is pleasuring herself with her fingers, guess what? You have 10 of those. You have
I
10
know,
of
right?
them.
Isn't that
and
crazy?
and you are not limited to the same angles that your partner is because they're your fingers and they're attached to not their body.
Yeah.
Trust
you do
me.
a lot of great things that way.
Just don't. It is very easy to get caught up in all of the wrong things and talking about this. Literally, the fastest way to solve most of these problems is talk with your partner.
That is so true. Obviously, everybody has their own preferences for stuff. This is why I keep saying, like, a lot of it's in the brain. A lot of it's like...
Sakura's right. Clip
Yeah.
your fucking fingernails.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, when you have something... When you're on the receiving end, either butthole or vagina or whatever hole, there are certain places in your body that just don't have the same kind of neurons as like your skin. So you're not gonna know, for example, when you actually get like a cut or anything like that. You won't be able to feel those things the same way. You won't be like, haha, you sliced me from here to here and I felt it and it hurt and it's like a paper cut. No, that's not how it feels like. It's just kind of like sore and you don't know exactly what's going on. This is why you want to take proper precautions before you put anything inside of orifices, that they're smoothed down. Like if you're going to put a finger in, make sure you, cut your nails and file them down so they're not so pointy, so they won't scratch people on the inside and tearing them up. That is a good consideration to have.
Fenakagami says, unfortunately, my partner is sexually repressed and doesn't know what she likes. Well, guess what? All that means is
that's why you guys talk about that.
you
Yeah,
two get
do
to go on
slowly.
a lot of different adventures. And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
If it takes you a couple years to figure it out, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Said, any tips on letting go? So I don't have that problem, for better or worse.
What do you mean by letting go exactly? What are they asking?
Cartoon Contrarian says, any tips on letting go? Say if someone is ready to get aroused, but almost impossibly hard to climax.
Oh, I mean, don't forget that climax doesn't have to be your end-all be-all. I know also many people some people actually don't like the orgasm part because, like, for them it's too sensitive and they're done, and then everything doesn't feel great after. So you know, if you know, maybe the climax portion is just not for you, and that's okay.
Yeah. Also, if you've got the money for it, which this is hard to do for a lot of people, but if you have the funds for it, sex therapy is a thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're just desperately trying to find stuff like that, you can talk with a couples therapist who specializes in intimacy.
It's so true though, because like especially if obviously for this specific partner, it sounds like there's some trauma associated with it, and having to unpack that with a sex therapist who can take those things into consideration is very, very important. Maybe it's not something that just you and your partner by themselves can deal with, because it's very sensitive issues. I always say this, but I think a lot of sex is tied to your personal traumas. Your kinks are tied to your personal traumas, and just like weird associations in the brain. There are a lot of ways that things can like kind of connect with each other. And sometimes, especially if there's a very intense connection, you might want to be careful about unwrapping those things so you don't hurt yourself mentally.
So Tristan Allen says, so basically, be like Shadow the Hedgehog and master edging.
Oh my god.
I'm Shadow the Hedgehog. I have never came once. In fact,
you'll be
Sonic,
the ultimate
I've
edgelord.
never felt the touch of a woman.
Okay. Oh my god. Whew. Whew.
So Fangagami says, I feel like a bad partner, just want to help her. The fact that you want to help her automatically means you're not being a bad partner.
Yeah.
No wonder Shadow is so grumpy.
He hasn't come in forever.
The doctor didn't find it necessary for me to be able to climax. I have never felt the joys of human existence.
Please, please, please. Oh, no. No. Oh, God. Anyway, I want to ask you about some dynamics that's associated with poly. I was wondering, so there's a lot of, I think, more in-depth, more complicated issues come into play the older that you get, the longer that you're in a certain poly relationship, right? A lot more responsibilities kind of build up, a lot more like things that can affect other people's families, extended families, that kind of thing, because you guys have known each other and there's a relationship dynamic that maybe isn't so typical.
So one of the hardest things is figuring out who to tell. Especially where I live. Like, I live in Georgia. I live in the South.
Right.
People
are gonna.
Most people here are very conservative.
Yes.
In fact, actually, I have a friend of mine who we've tried to explain this to before, and he cannot wrap his mind around the idea that there are polyamorous people who are ace. He cannot wrap his mind around the idea that there are people that
doesn't make sense.
Any kind of relationship
goes with sex,
especially like any kind of relationship, especially a relationship with multiple people, not involving sex of some kind. Like, that idea just does not exist in his head. So like, for instance, my mom knows I'm poly, but like my stepdad does not know I'm poly, and that's information that will probably never be communicated to him. Which certainly made Christmas interesting when I brought my extra partners over, and they've had to be communicated.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. This kind of stuff gets so complicated.
It made conversations very interesting. But
trying to walk around it.
Yeah.
Like, this is my roommate's friend I've known for a long time. Like, how do you even do this?
Like, here's this person who lives in my house and eats my food, and we've never fucked ever.
I'm just a really
Don't
nice
look at the
person.
crossed fingers behind my back, please. But it's so that's probably one of the first things is like figuring out who can you tell, who is it safe to talk to about, who is going to ostracize you if they know, who is going to look at you like you're a sex pest if they find out that you're poly, because there are some people that see that and they're just like, that's degenerate. That's not what the Lord intended. That's issue. There's also, I don't know what it is, but there's this idea that poly people are always on the hunt, almost. They're just like, hey, would you date this person? Would you date this person? It's just like, my answers are the same whether I was poly or mono. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't
Do I know this
know.
person? Have I built a relationship with this person? No.
There are the
Rustling with the long dots after the no.
There's this also awkward thing where, and a lot of this does come with the conflation of poly with sex, but there's the idea that people are polyamorous just so that they can have sex with multiple people. And I just, on the one hand, yeah, there are people who do that, but on the other hand, like that's a misconception that I hope goes away with time. Like the more people are
I definitely
to
think
poly
it's
people.
the same amount of people that are non-poly that are in it for relationships just for sex too. It's like,
they're just
it's
like
everywhere. It has nothing to do with poly or not.
Like everybody is Morty, and they just want a relationship, so they have the opportunity to masturbate into another person. Like,
yeah.
Like I get that those people exist, but it's a really awkward, almost holier than thou misconception that that's a unique to polyamory problem.
No, it is everywhere.
However, there's another side of this that I have to point out.
Yes.
As somebody who's talked with a lot of poly people and have been part of a lot of social media groups centered around polyamory, there is an issue within the poly community with particular dynamics that I can't stand, and I've noticed it die out a little bit, but there was a time where it was really awful, and I don't want to see it resurge. Is the idea of polyamory superiority?
What?
So
really?
You get this a lot.
Interesting.
You get this a lot.
So they feel like this is the best form of relationship model.
Yes. That is. So that's a thing that you don't find it often, but there are people who are just like, well, actually, polyamory is the natural state of human beings. We've only been conditioned to be monogamous. Monogamy is actually the degeneracy, and it's just like you see that. You don't see it often, but when you see it, it sticks. You can't unread a post talking about that.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's and granted, I understand there's the argument that can be made about, like, well, why can't I be like that? Monogamous people are like that all the time. And, like, that doesn't make it better. Yeah, they're
that doesn't make it good.
It's like, does it make you feel good when a monogamous person tells you that their marriage that they've been going to therapy for 3 years because they just can't fucking make it work, but they're in it still? When somebody is telling you about the superiority of that relationship model, does it make you feel good? No. Then why the fuck do you do it?
Yeah.
So there's that. Those are probably the big ones that come to my mind. Is like, how do you handle this with other people and also like within the poly
there's
community?
a lot of prejudices and in the eyes of, let's say, a typical person that maybe doesn't participate in poly, or maybe is not familiar with poly. Oh, shit balls!
Hey, that's a big raid.
Peter Pale, thank you so much for the raid! Do you know Peter Pale, by the way?
I don't.
Peter Pale's he's a fleshy streamer. Hello, welcome, Wives Nation. Sorry, my model's being really weird today, so it's a little bit. It's not very. It's a little slideshowy. Hello, welcome. Peter Pale is one of my favorite fleshy people. He does the weirdest shit I've ever seen on Twitch. So if you guys like it when people are shirtless but cover their nipples with a belt, or shoot arrows at random objects in their room, or eat random shit, deep fry random shit, This is the stream for you. Go to Peter Pale. I know. And from what I understand, Peter Pale is also a funny ass dude. He loves doing these like freestyle rap things.
Like, from what I understand,
like a fake freestyle rap.
From what I understand, he is funny, but I lack the ability
From what I
to
understand,
engage in
he's
humor.
hilarious.
I'm just gonna keep on resorting to like
the dark
narrow
God,
view
please.
Shadow the Hedgehog every time.
You just keep it. But yeah, if you guys ever want a freestyle rap, you can go to his chat. If you're a new follower, you can go deep fry me, daddy, and then he will give you your own personalized freestyle rap. Not like a few lines like I would do because I'm not creative. He like does like a whole song. He'll like find like a beat and like do like a minute to like 2 minute like really like actual freestyle rap for you. Fucking amazing. So yeah, thank you so much for the repeater. We're gonna be chilling together. Is it next week? Yeah, it's next week. Next week we're gonna be chilling together as well. So next week we're gonna try to cook some stuff to celebrate Asian Heritage Month in America.
Nice.
Yay! And of course there's gonna be punishments. We're basically making buns and filling them with good ingredients and bad ingredients.
So Manchester said Vivi sat on Peter Pale's lap the last time I saw with him. Did you like have the VTuber model on him or just like actual sitting?
Okay. No, it's the model. It's the model. We live on opposite ends of the world. So he's in Europe and I am in North America. And this is the only way we've ever interacted in our whole lives. So no, dating will never happen. Also, Vivi-chan is single for life, and that's how I like it. It's just how I roll.
I'm imagining somebody popping in like VTubers should always be single. Have you seen that discourse on Twitter?
Which one? The one where they're
the one where like
so many discourse on Twitter.
So there's this weird discourse about like how if a VTuber is dating somebody, they shouldn't let people know that they're dating somebody. Like they should be, as far as the camera's concerned, they're perpetually single. And I know that
idol culture. Yes,
it's
exactly.
It's idol culture. It comes directly from the idea of like you're a pop idol, so like everybody should feel like they have an opportunity with you. And I'm like, no, that's fucking disgusting. What the fuck?
That is really fucked up.
You just want your
you can do whatever you want.
You desperately want your cartoon waifu to be imaginable in your bed. That's gross.
You can just imagine better, okay?
Get it.
Be a better imaginer.
Imagine a better girlfriend than the streamer, please.
Come on, guys. There's better ways of doing this.
Oh yeah, no. The Manchester as like the VTubers on Twitter. I became a VTuber because my community wanted to see my avatar stuff back. So I was like, okay, as a joke, I'll do a VTuber thing. That was a year ago.
It's real.
Now it's I'm stuck here. So like there's an amount of weirdness where I'm just like, I did this as a joke, but I'm like, no, I've legitimately been in this community for a year now.
No, you're a true VTuber. You're like a real ass VTuber. You're definitely part of the community.
But when I see Discord, like it's always like,
but you cannot leave.
The idol culture thing. I see a bunch. The discourse on, well, male VTubers aren't respected the way female ones are, and I'm like, dude, you do not want to know the random shit that people who present as female get in their DMs merely by existing.
There's some really creepy shit out there.
Like, don't get me wrong.
I don't know what people possessed to like feel like it's okay to send certain things.
Like, don't get me wrong.
It's fucked up.
I've had my fair share of people like coming into my DMs and being weird and like me having to go, okay, no, parasocial, go away. But I know that like as a matter of scope and scale, it will never be as much.
Ducklord Quackers, you are correct. Once you become a VTuber, you're stuck with it. Can't go back. You cannot go back! Why are you inside of a potato? Enigma's asked me why I'm in a potato. Well, I am Vivi-chan the potato. I'm a VTuber. Get it?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was
I think I just
starchly
killed Sarah.
unfunny.
Oh my god, you want an avatar? Go
Well-
get one!
Well,
There's
actually, the
free
real
ones! You can make
reason,
in V-Roid! Go make one today.
the real reason
not
is
a
that
gremlin,
potato
fuck
is
you.
the superior food. I only
God, this
consume the
voice.
superior life forms.
Oh my god, this voice is killing me.
I mean, my
Seriously
Mickey, my
though,
Mickey
you
Mouse
can
is
feel
much
it. It's like an
worse.
alter ego, like just creeping up behind us every time we're having a conversation.
Did somebody say alter egos?
It's amazing! Oh no!
Welcome to Disneyland,
It's splitting! The personality is splitting! Starch. Yes, that is what he said. Starchly unfunny. Everybody go boo him. Boo him right now! Boo! Boo! That's a bad joke! Bad!
Look,
You deserve spankies! I'm
Look.
just kidding. Don't spank him. I'm not a gremlin! I'm a dragon! I'm a dragon. Can you see? I have my horns and my tail and my wings. I know, it's covered by
Dragons-
mostly potato, but I'm a dragon.
dragons are just hoarder gremlins.
Fuck you! I don't hoard stuff. You don't know me.
You're a dragon, right?
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Hoarders.
All right. I don't know if you've ever seen. You probably haven't. So I'm streaming right now, and you can see my room. I don't. It's not that much stuff. Everybody says that I hoard like a lot of stuff, but I think it's like a normal amount of things. It's like dry.
You,
I don't know. I just feel like
you
I can
have
use
your
stuff again.
utensils next to a mini UFO.
I don't know. I like seeing where my stuff is.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like an ADHD thing or something, but like I feel like if I put it away, I'll forget about it and I'll never use it again. So I like having my stuff out.
Drossus,
So I can
no!
see it.
You fucker!
Oh my god. Ooh, Mickey? Is this what's happening now?
You just dropped 50,001 channel points.
That's crazy.
Fine,
So-
Drossus.
It's happening. I think
Fine.
it's happening. Everybody pay attention.
Fine.
Get ready. Get your clickers ready.
Oh, whoa.
Get your clickers ready.
There you go. That's what you.
Wait.
that's what you get.
Wait. No. You gotta stay like I thought you were gonna use ooh-weenies. It was just the word uwu?
Yeah, that's all that is.
No!
My
How is that 50,000 points?
because Owo is the correct one, so people can get that for 500
Oh.
points.
My god. You're an
We
Owo
don't-
person?
We don't like
don't know if
the
I can
other
talk
one
to you
around here.
We don't take kindly to
We-
Uwus around these parts.
We don't take kindly to your kind around here. We send
there we
them
go.
back
There's
to the
Owo.
anime convention across the street.
Back to the anime convention. Shut up.
Andrew, thank you
Oh
for
my
redeeming your
God.
points for an owl. Owl.
Oh no. Oh well.
You
So,
said
I don't know.
Mimi-chan is disappointing.
You'll
Mimi?
never be-
Who's Mimi-chan?
You'll never be disappointed in something from the Disney Corporation. Get that man out of here.
That was really good.
Send him on the
Holy
small-
shit.
Make him go on the small world ride for at least 12 hours. No food. He can only
Oh my
drink the
God.
river water.
Oh my god. That is a lot better than I thought it would be. It was like a spot on impression. Can we have like a little bit of like curse shit now? Should we add like some more requests if for like this Mickey voice?
Randiful, thank you for redeeming your points for an.
Let's see. How would
Fucking monster.
Mickey ask use consent language to ask Minnie to go to bed?
Minnie, I understand you're texting. I want you to stop fucking goofy. Get in the fucking bed right now. You and me.
Oh my god, I'm dying. Oh my god. I can't see. My eyes are like tearing up. Okay. What the hell is this? Says Chris Kidd. I just woke up. That was hello everybody. For those of you that are just joining us, this is my friend Sudis. Neko Sudis, you can use exclamation mark collab to bring up their stream. They're a lovely content creator that talks about, for some reason, using Mickey Mouse voices and edgelord shadow voices.
I fucking love that. What was it? Flight of Crow just went. Maxie, your dad doesn't have sex. He fucks.
Yucks. I can't. Stop it. Stop it! This is what is this stream turning into? This is supposed to be a serious stream about serious stuff. We talk about serious issues like buttholes.
I mean, okay, look, it can't be that serious when I talk about abortion, which is a real serious issue and deserves to be taken seriously. I usually do it in the same breath as saying, no, I want to have a right to a fetus cannon.
What? All right, can you explain to everybody what a fetus cannon is?
It's
very important for us to figure out. What in the furry is this? Neither of us are furries. Look at us.
It's when you make an abortion happen by jumping on the stomach and making the baby fire out at the wall.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Somebody censor this. Where's my censor button?
The umbilical cord makes it like a hook shot from Legend of Zelda.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I know, we went from a conversation about poly relationship modeling to fetus cannons. I know.
Badly inefficient baby.
I know, this is just normal flow of conversation.
Sienna says badly inefficient fetus cannons take over 9 months to reload.
Not if you make sure that you have quadruplets.
Oh my god. Then you have 4 in the chamber.
4? You think they're coming out in one piece?
Oh my god! This is like a whole nother level of like blender baby jokes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ooh, okay, anyway. So it is a very serious issue. That Roe v. Wade is going to be overturned. And there definitely are a lot of potential things that can happen. I actually was just browsing Twitter this morning. I forget which politician it was, but someone was listing a lot of the current talks. Obviously, the talks are always going to be a lot more extreme than what will actually happen. But from the GOP of like what kind of legislation are they trying to push? And it's really interesting seeing the themes of this. A lot of it is like banning different forms of contraception after, which is interesting.
Yes.
I don't understand what that has to do with Roe v. Wade exactly.
So
do you know the connection?
So there's a there's a few layers to this, and they get more yikes the more I explain, so bear with. The first layer of that is there are people that believe that Plan B is an abortion pill.
What?
Yes.
Do they not understand how it works? Okay,
they don't understand that it's the equivalent of putting a Yasuo wind wall in front of sperm.
yes, it's very different than killing something that's there.
So they don't understand, but there are people that believe that Plan B and the abortion and like the pre-10-week abortion pill are the same thing.
Oh my god.
So a lot of those bans end up coming up because of that. There are people as well who what's the best way to put this? Here's where it gets more yikes to find the incentive behind a lot of the banning there. It doesn't necessarily have to logically follow. Are you aware? I understand that like in a perfect world, every politician's policies would make sense logically. Remember, the representative of my district thinks that Jewish space lasers destroyed California. So,
oh my god, that's right.
Logic does not have to follow all the time.
Oh god, you're right. You gotta approach it from a different level.
So, have you ever heard of
Alpha Mario? Shut up! What the fuck?
And this
Don't give me that B emote for Plan B. Okay, sorry. Anyway, go on.
This is gonna sound horrible, but it does need explaining. Has you ever heard of the Great Replacement Theory?
Oh my god, I have. Oh no.
Okay.
Is this where it's starting from?
Some of it, not all of it, but some of it. So, I mean, for context, for anybody who doesn't know what the Great Replacement Theory is, the Christchurch shooting and the Buffalo shooting that just happened were both inspired by the theory. The theory basically is that white people are somehow special, and if enough people of color breed with them, whiteness will stop being part of the population, and then will become a minority. And I guess it's only considered a problem because, I don't know, maybe we think human beings have an issue with oppressing minorities. No idea about that.
I think a lot of people who are specific ethnicities, we have this idea of like less of us is bad, right? We're like a dying breed kind of feeling. I don't think there's a danger of that with white people, but
Well, and the
apparently
other
there's
thing
some
is
white people that believe that, you know,
the other
there's been a
thing
lot
is
of inbreeding
even-
and all that other shit. hmm Go
look, we
ahead.
just had to keep the blood pure, okay?
Yes,
Um,
keep the blood pure.
But there's also another side of this as well, and that's the fact that there are people that believe that there is something inherently superior about being white, or at least inherently different enough that it warrants
Right.
protecting the great white gene or some shit. So
Yes.
the reason I say that is, population-wise, there are more white people in the United States than none. If everybody were forced to keep all of their babies to term, then likely there would continue to be a white majority in the population. That is one side of this that is yikes as fuck. But I can't deny that there are certain politicians that are motivated by that. There's the other side of this that is at least a little more tangible. The United States, just in general, United States citizenry, we have a birth rate of about 2.6, which is not, or 2.06 rather. You need I think
That sounds great.
you need about 2.6 actually. You need closer to 3 in order to have a replacement population.
I see.
That's what you need to have a.
So they're trying to get them to breed more.
Where it's basically, specifically, Justice Amy Coney Barrett said that we need to have more people bred into the United States in order to supplement the workforce, and that's from one of the justices who are directly involved in this Roe v. Wade decision. Is the need to replace the current population with more people. So there's a racist side to it that can be considered. There's the side of it of people saying that we need more people to supplement industry in the United States. There's a lot of sides to it. All of them are yikes because none of those should circumvent an actual living human being's right to their own body. But
Of course.
I can say specifically from my comment section in one of the videos I did on Roe v. Wade, there's a person who let me put it this way. If I recognize your name in my comment section, it's either because I really like you or I really fucking hate you. This person is on the
Which one are you?
This person is on the I really fucking hate you side of things.
Oh,
Because
no.
when I was talking about Roe v. Wade, they said that all of this goes out the window. All of your arguments about abortion being a right go out the window if we need replacement populations. And I was like,
Oh
wait,
my god.
are you saying
This
that
is
women
real?
should
This is real?
actually be breeding factories? Like, we've been making jokes about this for so long, but like, is this actually the argument now that we need more breeders in the United States?
Breeders. Oh god.
And
So it's all going towards that. So it feels like there's probably going to be legislation limiting women for workforce things and kind of stuff like that as well.
I don't know if so.
I
Here's the
saw
thing.
one other thing on that in the list of stuff that's happening in the U.S.
I don't think that.
somewhere.
I don't think a reversal on women's suffrage would pass. I don't think that's.
No, I don't
something
think
that-
it'll be like a suffrage thing, but
Yeah.
it might be something like you need to take mandatory leave when you're pregnant or something like that. There's going to be like some kind of thing where, you know, need to make sure you take care of your babies. And of course, you know, they don't care if, you can pay for that or not.
if they
You have a
actually
job.
cared about that, then we would have mandatory maternity leave, but we don't.
I know, right? Instead, they're like, you know, you should be able to fire someone for maternity.
Let me see if I can find the comment specifically because I remember screenshotting it because I sent it to my editor and I just went, if I had to see this, you have to see it too. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay,
'cause
I'm
it's-
ready for the pain. I'm bracing for the pain.
Let me see.
Painful. Painful comments.
Worst case scenario, I'll just look up this person's name in my comments because I know I'll find it.
Mid Valley, you cannot identify as pregnant to get time off. What the fuck? It's not an identification.
It's like you can identify as pregnant when you have imbibed enough seed.
Ah!
That's the verbiage
People
we're
will
going to
believe
use.
that if you say it. You don't know how dumb my chat is.
That's fair.
I'm kidding. Yes, if you eat enough semen, yes, enough seed, you'll be considered technically pregnant.
Just remember,
It's like it's bound to happen.
it
that
works. It works as a good enough lubricant. You can use it to skate on your floors.
Oh my god, please, Mid Valley. No, 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 no. This is not an offer to fill your cavities with semen. No, no, no. This is not how it's going.
Somebody.
No, don't write it down. No, Chris K, no. Oh my god. No, no, Pikachu, no. No, not noted. Cross it out. Right no on it, okay? Not noted right now. Oh my god.
Where the
Both chats are like,
where the hell is
fucking
this
with me.
comment?
you guys are all
Cena
fucking
just
with
says,
me.
"Have you met Cyrus's chat?" Yeah, no, my chat is a cursed hive of scum and villainy.
The VV challenge? No, it's not no, don't name it after me. No. Oh my god.
The VV
Oh my
challenge is
God!
getting seed into
No,
your
we're
cavities.
not calling it the VV challenge of like getting enough seed to be technically pregnant. That's just weird. It's a joke. Don't you dare. If anybody puts this outside, I will find you and cut the pinky toes off of every shoe that you own. Yes, there'll be holes in every single shoe.
I will find
Don't
you.
do it!
I will find your house and I will loosen the screws on one side of the cover for your toilet so that when you sit down, it shifts slightly to the left and it will always be uncomfortable.
That's a great threat. I like that. Mimi Chan, you will never see a chat that's a worse hive of scum and villainy. Oh god. Scum and villainy? That's what your chat is known for? Is that like the... No, not cum and villainy. I didn't say cum and villainy. What is up with this? What is happening?
Remember,
We're breeding raunch?
Remember,
Oh,
most
God.
of the people who watch me in my chat can
my
sit
God.
down and debate about politics and philosophy all day, and I have desensitized them to this kind of degeneracy.
Oh god, it's just a whole lot of degeneracy across these two chats right now. Yes, Dokos, I'm glad you thought that this was a good moment to join. No hashtag VB swallows. No, stop it. Oh my
Okay,
god.
look, true love gargles, okay?
True love gargles. Oh my god. Guys,
Okay, I have
Okay.
resorted to searching
have
through
you
my
found
comment
your
section.
problematic comment yet?
I thought that I screenshotted it. Apparently I didn't. I have resorted to scrolling through now.
Okay.
That is...
For those of you that don't know, what's the best way? Let me see if I can get your YouTube link up in here just so that they can see it. YouTube.com/ Which one are you looking at? Like, which of your
I'm looking
YouTube
at
channels?
on Sir. It's just Cirrus.
Because you have three,
SURIS.
right? Okay. You're just like your Cirrus one. Because remember, each one has different types of content on it. One of them is dedicated to Sonic.
Here it
so
is.
you know.
I found it. What if a state's population numbers are low? Your arguments really just fall flat.
Oh my
So I just went, who cares? Do you want compelled pregnancy? Goes, look around your state. Do you need more children? If not, then women don't need to be compelled. I just
What?
went, you realize what a monstrous...
Wait. Why would he's saying that if they are low though, that women should be compelled?
Women should be compelled to be pregnant. That is the argument.
That is
yes.
what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
Oh god.
My response to that was, you realize what a monstrous take compelled pregnancy is, right? And they
Oh
just
my
go,
God.
it would only be this way if we need to. Like if a virus were to wipe
If
us
we
out.
need to.
We live a long
Guys.
time, my dude. We can go without having kids for like, I guess 10 or 30 years by your population
What?
numbers combined in the US. So like that
what
automatically
the fuck is, what kind of shit is going through your brain?
that automatically is like, what
It's
do you
a
just
shit
want?
brain.
Do you just want to be like, look, you got a good 30 years in you, Derpatina, and now that you're the ripe old age of 30, time to go into the factories, time to just start popping them
Oh
out.
my god.
Also,
Also, I would say in general, the world suffers from mostly overpopulation than like underpopulation. A lot of places are like, there's like a few places where their economy is maybe suffering a little bit with birth rates declining, but the vast majority is there's too many mouths
Like-
to feed kind of stuff.
like don't get me wrong, in the United States, our economy will be suffering in the next 10 or 20 years because we have lower birth rates. That actually
Right.
is true because we have
yes.
we've created so much industry, and without people to actually work within that industry, then you create issues. But here's the thing. no economic argument will ever make compelling the use of somebody's body okay.
It's so true, though. Do you really want to get into that situation where you're telling people, like, hey, you have a working uterus, you need to work on making babies?
Like, here's the
Like,
thing.
that's just freaky.
It's like the Death by Snoo Snoo episode of Futurama, where they're just like, oh, wait, just I can have all the sex I want until I die? Yeah, that sounds great. And then, like,
Oh my
over
God.
time, they just start slowly dying.
They are dying.
Sweet
They're literally
Melody,
dying.
dear fucking God. Really?
What's the redeem? What is this? What's happening?
It's 50,001
What's
channel
this
points.
special? Oh, so it's something you have to do.
Sweet
Go ahead.
Melody, for fuck's sake, why would... Okay, fine. Fine. You win the
Let's go.
battle, but not the war. I will find your location, and I will make sure that all of your bananas are half peeled so that they get really brown really fast, and you are forced to make smoothies instead of eating them. Fucking hell. Sweet Melody, thank you for redeeming 50,001 channel points, not for a fucking... Ooh. Ooh. Now, go be degenerate
For those who
elsewhere.
don't know. Oh my God. See, this is what you get. You encourage the uwoos. You get it. You get your...
Really, Siennis?
Oh, another one!
Two Siennis?
Let's go, let's go. How many other people have 50,000 channel points to spare?
Said Cirrus, tell her that too many mouths to feed is a capitalist myth. Siennis, there won't be too many mouths to feed when I'm done putting you through a fucking blender for that. Jesus Christ. Fine, you too. Ooh woo. Ooh woo. There. Are you happy? I'm more dead inside now
Did
than when I hit
everybody
the go stream button.
Clip it. How, like, you can hear the emptiness when he says that. Like, he's like, "Ugh, I hate everything about
And-
the stream. I hate my life.
Andrian, thank you for being on the right side of history with an owl.
Pikachu can do 2 back-to-back. Man, you have so many channel points. I guess when
Everybody
you've
in
been
my
streaming
streams.
for, what did you say, like 10 years at this point?
I mean, so on Twitch, I've only been streaming this year. Or like
Oh, okay. So
one
most of
year
your stuff, like,
total.
you did, like, YouTube or something.
Yeah, I was doing YouTube before, but I've had 1 year total on Twitch,
Okay.
actively streaming on it.
I mean, you stream often, but still, having so many people with 50,000 points.
They see that it's there and they save up their points.
You guys are so much more disciplined than my chat. My chat wastes it every day on, like, 100 bitty things. They're like, ha-ha! Let me use these 5,000 to hit you in
Christina
the face.
Salen, thank you for redeeming your
Oh
points.
no, I'm out 5,000.
You fucking monster.
Have a
granted,
good night, Digi. Thank you so much for modding for the majority of the chat. You were very, very sweet. Thank you so much.
I have a 200,000 channel point redeem that people have managed as well.
200,000. What did you even set at 200,000?
It forces all Owos and Ara-Aras to get converted into the bad one.
For how long? For
an
that stream?
For an hour.
Oh, for an hour. Oh man, it's only for an hour too. Man, you
But
guys, dude, that's so great because you can do it for like 500 after that.
people can also...
Over and over and over. Sorry, would you like to stretch with me? I got another stretch for you.
Sure, why not?
Let's stretch together.
There's also a shield function that you can use on the OO side for just as many channel points that will stop somebody when they've dropped that.
VV challenge. There, I did your ASMR. Now leave me alone. There's no such thing as hashtag VV challenge.
That's the most tsundere ASMR I've ever heard. It's not like I wanted to ASMR or anything.
It's a redeem! I can do it freely! They redeemed it! Stop redeeming shit! Okay, here's a hydrate.
I just did a hydrate as well. Thanks, Rosalind.
Good. Mods are gone, right? Calm down, guys. It's gonna be okay. We have like, what, 10, 15 minutes? We're good. Everybody behave. We're gonna be nice to our nice guest, who I respect very, very much. I don't know if you guys know this. When I saw Cirrus' stream, I was like, oh my god. It's like I fell in love. Like, seriously, though. I tried not to fangirl too much, but once I started thinking, I was like, oh my god! You do this so well! I immediately asked, what's your business contact? Where can I email you? Except I tried to do it not in caps, so you wouldn't be scared. And then I
Jesus.
emailed you, and then we set this up, and now I have his Discord. I know. Shh! Don't tell him that I'm excited about it. Shh! No! What do you mean a patooey? Patooey! Yeah. So yeah, I was very excited to have this person on because I think they have a lot to share, and I've always wanted to use my platform, if I can, in helping educate people on stuff that they might not know about that I think is important. And I felt like almost everything that Sudis talks about, except for Sonic, is important.
I'll have you know, Sonic the Hedgehog is the most important thing. And I actually have a legitimate argument for this. I have one.
I hate that you do, but I don't doubt that you do.
So let me explain a particular strategy that has been used by progressives on the internet. Did you know about the website MagaBook when that went online?
MagaBook?
MagaBook. It was supposed to be Facebook,
like the handbook
but for Trump lovers.
Oh, that thing! Oh, okay.
So,
I have heard about it.
Do you want to know?
I heard that it's an app or something?
It's a thing that existed at one point. I don't know if it still does.
Wait, does it not exist anymore? I didn't know it doesn't exist anymore.
But do you want to know how it was rendered completely unusable for a certain amount of time?
Oh no, you're gonna bring in Sonic somehow.
Yes.
Oh no.
The app was rendered almost completely useless for an amount of time because Sonic the Hedgehog porn. It was flooded with just people on the left going onto MagaBook and just posting just copious amounts of Sonic the Hedgehog porn. You can tell me Sonic the Hedgehog's not important, but it is one of the most important weapons in our arsenal.
What is wrong with people? Why do we do this? I guess it worked, though. It did shut it down. Apparently. Hobbit saying that it didn't shut down within a few weeks. I actually don't know when it was shut down, but definitely it is less notorious than it was when it first started. Sonic has influenced a generation of gamers and furries. Thank you, Metroid Magus. I'm sure a lot of people feel this way. I was specifically talking about political issues, but yes, sure, it definitely influenced a whole generation of people. No VV Challenge Sonic Edition. We're not going there. Stop hashtagging random shit. Oh my god. How did the chat devolve to Sonic porn? I don't know.
You think that was a devolution from the fetus cannon?
Oh god, the fetus cannon. Pew 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 pew. Gotta.
You're like
just jumping.
That one was an ear. That was a couple toes. Hit it hard enough, it's like a shotgun.
Vivi is dressed up like an organic butt plug hating on Sonic. How dare you? I'm a potato. Please don't put potatoes up your butt. I've actually talked about this before. So I think this is like a common thing in like sex toys. But I feel like it can't be repeated enough. You know, not everything should go in your butthole. Because your butthole is not the same as, you know, other orifices that actually do receive things. Like, there's no end to it. It's your gastrointestinal tract. So
I mean,
if you put it inside your butthole,
an end to
it's
it after
very
about 6
difficult
feet.
to get it. Oh my god! See, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Don't put 6 feet of something in you.
Yeah, exactly. Also, of course, obviously, it winds around and stuff like that. So you know, it's just it's very easy for things to get stuck in there and you can't get it out. It's not so easy. This is why most of the things that you put in your butt, there's like special dildos that are made a certain way so that it doesn't get lost in your butt. There's usually a handle on the outside or there's a flared end on the outside. That's how you can tell between an anal dildo versus a vaginal one, or you know, used for other things like for strap-ons.
God.
They're flared.
My fucking
Yes.
one of my channel artists is very cursed.
Oh no, what did they draw? Now I'm scared.
Give me a second.
Do I want to know? Do I want to know this? I'm
It is
scared.
a version of my character.
Oh no.
But
Oh, thank you so much for gifting us Sons of Chris Kid. Thank you.
there you go.
Thank you. V-tubular butt milk is a real name? Holy shit.
Oh yeah,
so happy.
they're a viewer of mine.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I love that name. The tubular butt milk.
So the image that I just sent you was of one of my artists, Pernia, going, "It's always right to do feet studies of Sonic's feet and post it on social media."
What? All right, I'm gonna put this in. I don't even know where I can put this. Actually, you know what? This is probably fine. I think this is PG enough that I can put this in the Twitch chat.
Sakura says, "Are you talking about ink?" I'm not talking about. If I say one of my artists, I'm referring to specifically the artists who I pay for work. So Pernia, Yarakoro, Remixin, Salem Sky, Bonbon, Suzu,
Bonbon.
all of everybody who's in the credit section of the artist section. When I refer to my artists, those are the people I am referring to. When I say
the people no, I'm just kidding.
If I say an artist in my community, that's like, Inkphone, Dreamboat, all the people who do fan art and submit it just in general. But when I say my artist, I'm talking about the people I
stuff
pay.
that you use every day. Yeah. No, Manchester, there's no quotes around work. It's just actual work. What do you mean what kind of it's artist work? What other kind of work would it be? I swear to God. It's work. Like, you draw something and you get paid for it. It's a commission. Always pay your artist. That's right, play all consoles. Pay your artist.
And said Yarakoro is the one who did Catboy Milk. That's not as cursed as Sonic Feet. No. Because Sonic Feet are not ethically sourced.
Oh my god, stop! Stop! Why are you like this? Why? All right.
Here's the thing.
So
it's a coping mechanism for all the politics I have to deal with.
Actually, I can totally believe that. It's a lot of fucking pressure. You need a release somewhere. Oh my god. So let me see. As like a sort of like rounding about everything, as we're like kind of winding down, I was wondering if there's any specific questions that maybe chat has for Necrostudents. They're very knowledgeable about a lot of different things. I'm sure there's things that you guys want to ask about that's not just Sonic related, but like other kinds of stuff that maybe is applicable to the wide variety of things that affect our lives, especially in the USA.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Huff that copium. Like Sonic the Hedgehog. And apparently feet drawings. That's very important. No, we're not hiring for the VV challenge. What the fuck is this? Oh, Manchester Rat, you have a serious question? Go ahead. Huff that copium because the old white people that run our country is freaking nuts. What a way to deal. Either huff opium or just talk about Sonic. One of those is healthier than the other. An update to the Carboy milk carton with a missing male Sudis on the side. Wait! If we turned that milk carton, would there be a picture of you on there?
I don't know.
Now I kind of want
it's like so from my perspective, it's like one of those 3D models in an N64 game that's like sitting in the background, where like if you look at it from every angle you're supposed to, you see the front, but when you go to the back, there's literally nothing there.
Oh my god. Yeah, we have no idea because it's 2D. Oh, Gina Boo, thank you so much for starting a hype train. No, it's not a scam train. All right, so we have some actual questions that are not real questions. We have Mid Valley asking, how many Sonic toys do you own, sexual or other?
So I don't have any sexual Sonic toys because they haven't made a good route to that one yet. But,
Okay.
But as far as Sonic toys are concerned, I actually didn't have any for the longest time. I have the entire set of the McDonald's ones that came out for the movie recently that a friend of the Sunset City channel, Cecil, sent to us. Everybody at Sunset City got a bunch of those.
You like a little bit of collection.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Thank you guys so much for starting your hype train. Thank you for 100.
And then I have one of the like tiny classic Sonic figures as just like a display thing that sits in my living room, but I don't have any.
Aw.
I don't have a whole.
So you don't
lot.
have like a whole wall or something like that.
No,
it's just like you have a few
my
key
wall
pieces.
is filled with Nerf guns.
Oh, okay. So you're more Nerf guns than you have Sonic stuff.
Oh yeah, I got into a
Okay.
I got into an awkward hyperfixation phase for the longest time where I was like, okay, I get Nerf guns, I buy springs, I take them apart, I upgrade them to the point where they can cause real actual damage to people,
Oh
and
my
yeah,
god!
I have one of the guns I'm looking at. I literally swapped out all of its internals for like sheet metal ones,
Oh no.
just so it
Hi,
would hit
Josh
harder.
Miller! Oh my god. Okay, here's another question of obviously also about Sonic games. So they want to know what's your favorite Sonic game and why is it Unleashed?
My favorite one's actually Adventure 2, but Unleashed ranks
Hey!
very high for me. I love Unleashed.
Okay, alright. See, you got a straightforward answer right there. Alright, we have another question from let's see.
I see a Josh
Where is
Josh
this?
Belmer is a fellow Nerf enthusiast. They have a Nexus Pro. I have two Nexus Pros. One of them is the one that I put the metal
Let's
internals in.
go!
Josh Belmer,
So Manchester would
I
like
have
to
the
know.
Nexus Pro and a Caliburn. Anyway, sorry.
Hey! That's amazing. Dude, there's like so many. It's just like there's like a whole culture to like Nerf gun stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's so many Nerf guns. It's crazy. It's like actually crazy though. I know a lot of people do it for like nostalgia reasons. Usually that's when people start like getting really into it. It's not really like the kids anymore.
I was never able to afford them as a kid, so like as a
Exactly.
and
I
it-
heard a lot of that.
when
Those are the
I-
people that start collecting. Is like the people didn't really have them.
when I discovered that there was like a subset of hobbyists that did stuff with them, like a lot of 3D printing and stuff as well, that's what made me get into it a lot. Cause I was like, okay, so I can get a gun that's cool. I can get a gun that does really well, and then I can upgrade it all these different ways. Like I have a special toolbox. Because I've got the tools that I use in the house all the time, and then I've got another toolbox that is separate that has eye protection, a Dremel, multiple different types
Oh
of
my
springs.
god, so in depth.
And it's got like I've got lubricants and O-rings and all the stuff that you need to like refit and retest different Nerf guns. If you can think of it being needed for one of those projects, I probably have it sitting inside that particular thing. I even had like a jewelry screwdriver, so I didn't have to twist my hand when I was taking apart
my
various
God.
guns.
That's crazy. Okay, Hideaju says that this is the kind of person that TSA warns you about. You're the one that are converting little toys into deadly weapons.
So about the TSA. The TSA
Are you saying that it's
exists.
okay?
The TSA exists in the Cars universe because we find that Mater had
Oh
a
my
job
God.
with the TSA at
No,
one
no.
point. But the TSA only
Oh,
exists because 9/11 happened in the United States, which means that canonically 9/11 happened in the Cars universe.
Oh my god.
And the planes in the Cars universe are sentient living beings,
We're not doing this. Oh my god.
which completely
happening!
alters the which makes it even worse and more weird.
So, welcome to the brain of Nekosuris. Yes, I know. Now for some. Here's a serious question. This is, what is your opinion on trans rights in the Western world? This is a very broad question. It sounds like.
Trans rights are good. We need more of them. We need rights to puberty blockers and other gender affirming healthcare. Politicians are doing everything in their power, at least here in the United States, to stop gender affirming healthcare from being available to people at all. So my opinion is trans rights are good. We need more of them to be recognized as actual human rights because trans rights are human rights.
Oh my god. No, that's very, very true. I feel like there's just not enough is basically the idea. Like, this is like kind of new that we're discovering that there's a vulnerable population here, and like we need to do a lot of different things to make sure that they're protected. Yes, trans rights, exactly. Trans rights! So here's a, what the fuck kind of question is this? Okay, well, seeing as though the universe is limitless and we are still getting to understand the world around us, my question is, how do you like your toast?
So, unfortunately, the way I like my toast is not the way I can have it anymore. I recently started.
Wait, this is like actually a complicated answer. I love how like all these like there's like joke questions and you're like answering them so seriously. Like, you don't understand, guys. It's a real story. Okay,
I recently started cutting sugar out of my diet because and my favorite type of bread to make toast with is honey wheat bread. but I'm cutting out sugar from my diet.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Literally,
sugar.
my favorite way to have toast, I cannot have because my favorite bread for toast, I can no longer consume.
Aw, I'm so sorry. So your favorite way. So then, how do you consume it now?
Now I just
Even
have
if it's not your favorite way.
there's a fiber enriched bread that me and my partner have now. It's more expensive.
Oh.
I hate the fact that I have to pay like $5 a loaf instead of $1. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a fiber enriched bread that has like a dusting of oats on it or something. And that's
Dusting of oats.
basically. And that's
Do you
what we're
like
using
having
now.
the oats dusted on? That doesn't sound very tasty, honestly.
So it's
I'm not a big oat person.
I like oats, so it doesn't.
Oh, you
it
like
doesn't- it
oats?
doesn't
Okay,
hurt
then
me.
that's good. All right, then that's good. all right. Okay, French toast. I'm hearing the toast song now. Goddess, damn it,
Do
people.
you like waffles?
Do you like waffles?
Wait, am I
Is
the
this from
only
the same person that made the "I Love Bread" song? I think it is.
Maybe.
I love bread.
As-
I love bread. Dusting of oats sounds like a Skyrim name. Stop it. Stop it.
Playo consoles, we don't talk about blue waffles here.
Blue waffles. Oh my god. All right. Okay, we have another serious question. I think this will be our last one today. Thank you, Manchester F, for asking our last question. He said, but how do you feel how trans rights are progressing? I mean, America's trans rights are actually more progressive than the US.
Oh, then
What?
are more progressive in the U.S. Manchester, you live in the UK. Then you've got
Oh.
yeah, you're on Turf Island. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I mean, they you literally bred the Queen of Turfs. You have J.K. Rowling there.
That's so true.
But so here's the problem with the United States when it comes to trans rights. I live in Georgia, in the South. Trans
Yeah.
rights are not progressing well here.
They're like,
They're being
there's nothing
rolled
happening
back
here.
and in Florida. When you say like things are better in the U.S. for a certain thing, you have to remember we have different legislation for individual states. All of the states in the United States are basically mini countries
yep.
that are all under a big banner of one big country with a set of rules that are state and a set of rules that are federal. In a lot of cases, state rules will overrule certain federal rules, especially when it comes to medicine. There are states
Yep.
that are trying to make it illegal for you to go to another state to get trans-affirming healthcare and abortions, while also restricting those types of healthcare in that state. Like, are trans rights getting better in certain areas in the United States? Absolutely. Are they being rolled back in a lot of areas, especially areas that are
Oh, for sure.
where I live?
Oh my
all
god.
the fucking time.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, that is one thing that I think people outside the US don't realize as much is just how independent each state is. So like yes, we have federal laws, but each individual state can kind of decide which rules they want to like how deeply they want to follow and enforce those rules. So because of that, it's very, very different living from state to state. So maybe if you compare like the most liberal state in the United States, maybe to a whole country of the UK or something like that. Yes, it's not a fair comparison though. That's like saying that like, you know, this small community over here is good, but you know, it's not the same. Does federal law override state law?
Sometimes.
It's like kind of weird. It's like federal laws are like there are different ways that you can follow federal law, I think is the best way of putting it.
So, like, here's an example. An example of a federal law that is overturned, that is usurped by a state law, would be minimum wage. Minimum wage in a state can be different than federal law, but the federal law will actually usurp it in most cases. Another one is where, let's say you've got whatchamacallit, if we're talking about abortion, for instance. The heartbeat laws tried to be introduced into various states, like Alabama was where it started. A heartbeat law is the idea that when a thing that conservatives call a heartbeat, but is really just a weird rhythmic pattern, can be, if that can be traced, then the fetus has to be protected at all costs, can't be aborted. That moved from proposed law to trigger law because of federal law. Federal law says that women have access to abortion. Therefore, or I say federal law says that, federal precedent says that. not federal law. There's a difference. So a heartbeat law is considered unconstitutional due to federal precedent.
Mm-hmm.
But it does become a trigger law because it's a thing that sits there on the books and says, okay, well, if Roe v. Wade gets overturned, now automatically that law can be enforced. But right now it's not enforceable.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah. So, like, you can have, like, all these things kind of ready to go. And, like, as soon as you can do things about it, it'll be ready to go. That's what they mean by trigger law. For those of you that don't know. What do you mean it's XXX time? Oh, I forgot. That's what I put for my stream title. Oh, sorry. Anyway. So yeah, this is a really, really amazing streamer, Nekosudes. I think they talk about really, really important issues, and they do it in such a way that's very clear and easy to digest and interact with. This is one of the favorite things I like about their stream. They also have YouTube channels based off of this kind of content. If you like having calm, collected conversations, accented by little bits of ridiculousness, Nekosudes is definitely a person to go to. You can use !collab to bring up their channel. Please give them a follow. And yes, for some reason their model has gigantic boobies. Yes, that is true.
Yes.
We went over a little bit of it in the beginning. I'm not sure why this specific choice in size, but yes, they have the boobies. Yes, I know. There's much more jiggle there than over here.
It was
I have a little bit of a belly.
Off of the fan art specifically. So it just kind of got kept.
Exactly. Does he have an ass? Oh, so Mike would like to know, do you have a butt?
Yes, that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to cut sugar out. I think it's too big.
All right, best of luck to you. I hope that this diet changes doesn't you can still enjoy your food even with all these different changes in place. And I am so thankful that you decided to accept doing this collab with me. It really means a lot. I'm a tiny little content creator, and I really look up to people like you that can talk about serious issues in such a calm, collected, rational manner. So thank you for being out there. I think you're like a role model in terms of ways that I want to frame like my content. So it's really cool to see. Thank you so much for existing.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah!
Be a potato.
All right, everybody. I'm a VTuber. All right, everybody. If you guys haven't yet, like I said, please go to Nekosudes' channel and give them a follow there. They also have 3 YouTube channels filled with different types of information that you can find as well on their page. So yeah, it's time for us to say goodbye to our lovely friend. Thank you so much for chilling with me today.
You as well. It has been very fun, if not a little cursed.
Just a little.
Just a little.
just a tiny bit. We talked about a lot of different stuff today. I learned a lot. I hope you guys learned a lot. Everybody wave goodbye to our good friend. Please give him a follow. Are you going to be streaming more after this?
Yes, I'm still going to be live because I've got a lot of stuff I want to talk about still. I've got there's this person whose Twitter handle is like alpha male something.
Oh, no.
And it's a whole fucking thread that has gone viral from him. And I'm just like, that's perfect. We'll talk about that.
Oh no, it is time to look at the people that are getting canceled on Twitter. Let's go.
Nah, I don't.
So,
I don't
everybody
cancel
go and
Twitter.
protect Suited.
I don't cancel people on Twitter.
I
just
live
look
here
at them
now?
and go.
Oh
I just look at them and go. You know what? The longer you're here, the more I get to point at you and laugh.
Well, I hope it's useful. I actually think Twitter's I know it's like kind of cursed in terms of a platform, but also I think it's a good place that you get a lot of different people talking in real time, which is interesting to me. I feel like we don't get a lot of those kind of interactions in real life as much. Did someone say cancel? I've been summoned. No crowd jesting! No, go away! Anyway, so we'll be rating you in a little bit, I think. Since you'll be on for a little bit longer, I'm gonna say goodbye to my chat, maybe do a few songs. I usually do some singings and stuff like that. And then I hope you will receive my community with joy. I hope my community brings you joy.
Hopefully, I don't receive them in any way, in any near approximation to the conversations we've had today.
I know what you're talking about. We're very polite and nice, and not cursed in our content. I don't know what you mean. We're not talking about receive the VV chat. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Okay, anyway,
Receive the VV chat.
stop it! Okay, I've already left VV Manchester. Okay, all right. Have a good night or good afternoon. Is this morning for you? I don't know what time it is.
I'm actually in the Eastern time zone, so
Oh, you're in the same time as me. Okay, so it's also like 1 p.m. for you.
yeah, it's 1 for me.
All right. I'm gonna hang up now. Everybody, wave goodbye. Bye bye.
Ooborn corpse, thank you for the follow.
Hell yeah. Everybody say goodbye. Wave your hands. Bye 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 bye.
The stream has ended. Cricket noises.